Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Esports Celebrity Challenge brought to you by the NFL Alumni and ESTV. My name is Trevor McNeil, and alongside me once again is Brock Vereen. Brock, it's been far too long since we've been side by side. How you doing, man?
Could not be better. A beautiful Sunday afternoon. I get to sit here and talk some Call of Duty with my best bud here. Like you said, it has been far too long, but we are here now, and boy, do we have a competition this afternoon.
Absolutely. Another Call of Duty competition coming in, this time featuring Warzone. And based off of some of the returning faces that we've seen and some of the new faces, it's going to be a good one. But like you said, because of this overview, we have all players playing in 3 timed rounds, an hour long each. Of course, I'm going to be dropping into the quads for the Battle Royale. Points earned per kill and for placement as well. But as we mentioned with some of these rosters inside of this one, there are stipulations where you can't just play for placement. That's not going to be enough this time around.
Aggressive is the name of the game. If you are in this competition and FaZe, Blue, or Wars is not on your team, do not think a couple first place or top 3 finishes are enough. They are here to get kills. Them getting, what, 50 kills? That's not out of the realm of possibility. You have to get points. You have to be aggressive. The finishes are not enough. Please heed this warning. These guys are here to ball.
Absolutely, and you see one of the first teams that we are spectating on is Shane Vereen coming back once again. Of course, the famed running back for the Patriots, and coming away with a Super Bowl title for himself. That phenomenal ending of that Super Bowl 49 with the Seahawks and the Patriots on the 1-yard line. Everyone knows it, everyone remembers it, but he's coming back to represent Team Football, who we have not seen have any levels of success in any show so far. So this is their chance for redemption.
That's putting it kindly. That is putting it very kindly. Look, it's been a month since we have watched Team Football fall short, but hey, maybe today's the day. Yes, historically speaking, today doesn't look like the day, but I got faith. They're going to put it together at some point. And I tell you what, I talked to him just before we hopped on this broadcast. He is excited. He is refreshed. He has been working this past month. So have his teammates. They're ready to go.
And as we talked about, you got a lot of coaching to do with your brother over there. Amon Green, another one representing Team Football. The famed running back for the Green Bay Packers has been around the block a handful of times and then transitioned into the esports lifestyle where he started his own program up at a university, which is a really unique opportunity for everyone that he is getting the luxury to fall underneath that.
Absolutely, and let me be the first to tell you, as far as football players and video games and the amount of guys getting personal Twitch accounts and connecting that to their social media following, Amon Green is known as the founding father of the NFL and video games. He is so highly respected, and the fact that he gets to run his own program now and finally getting his just due, it is beautiful, and I'm so happy for him. Happy to be part of it, be his ESTV brother as well. Go Lakeland University. Absolutely
doing some phenomenal things out there. But in terms of national titles, running back 1 year from Vereen's championship, Kevin Ware coming home with the 2013 hardware at Louisville, and we saw him doing very well last time in the competition with his squad. Had a professional Call of Duty player on his team, and they were making it look like light work there in that Search and Destroy tournament, I believe was the one that they had won.
Yes, that's the one they won, but they have been competitive in every single competition that they have been a part of. He is great. He's ready to go. And most importantly, Trevor, he has confidence. He doesn't care who he is in this tournament with, pro, amateur, casual gamer. It doesn't matter. He has the confidence, and you got to respect that.
Absolutely one to look out for, as well as we've already mentioned it. FaZe Clan is here. FaZe Blue himself.
Oh boy,
a phenomenal Call of Duty player, has been around the world a handful of times playing Call of Duty on multiple titles across the board, and teaming up with Wars and a couple of the other top players out of the UK. This is the team to watch. This is, if anybody's going to come away and run away with this one, it's this squad right here.
I tell you what, I'm here to support this tournament because I believe in the cause. I believe in this game. But when we are specifically watching FaZe Blue's team and War's team, I'm taking notes. I'm a big time gamer as well. I'm not just watching them from an entertainment standpoint. I'm taking notes on how I can get better. So without question, the team to beat. But hey, it's not going to be handed to them.
Absolutely not. They're going to have to earn it, and earning it they are, as we have already got into round number 1 of gameplay, as we can start to spectate in. But Twisted there's 2 of them already knocked out. I mean, this is a quads tournament, so half the team's still alive, but this is probably not the greatest of starts that you would want.
Not the greatest start that you want, no. And the fact of the matter is how aggressive they play because of how confident they are in their abilities. You know, sometimes it doesn't just click, and that is the rare downside of being so aggressive. Is sometimes, hey, there's only one or two of you out there. The rest of us are in the gulag, or we died in the gulag. But on the flip side of it, we know anybody who is left on this team is good enough to get everybody back at any moment, and that's what makes it so exciting.
Absolutely. I mean, we have taken a couple looks at the scoreboard. There's already 35 kills on the team. You said 50 is easy for him. I mean, that's nothing to them. And FaZe Blue, he's been running for world records for stimulus duos and trios and trying to put that up. So if that goes to say the level of caliber that these players are, it's a lot. They're really, really good at this game.
30 seconds.
It's like he has a second set of eyes. I mean, just there, he's shooting at the guy behind that oil tank. Then he goes back and shoots at the truck pulling up on him. Then he sees that guy pop out. I just don't understand. It's like he knows what the other players are gonna do before they even do them. And
10 seconds.
I swear to you, it's like he's playing at a faster frames per second than everybody else. He is just so quick, and it's so instinctual.
And of course, with it being a kill race of sorts, you know, you really want to be able to have that sort of experience where you can kind of control the combat that you're entering into, because as you see with a lot of kill race tournaments, teams will split up 2x2 or 2x1 or even a 1x1 in a duo format if they're feeling brave, but they're able to take these engagements 2-on-4 and still come away with the 4 kills and the points, while on the other side of the map, your other duo is doing the exact same thing, and they're just racking up points.
Sniped at.
And you can only do that if you have confidence. There are a lot of guys who are saying, hey, 4 of us, no matter who we roll up on, we're going to outnumber them because we have all 4. But it's just a different mindset. If I say, hey, I know my buddy's going to hold his own, I'm going to pair him up with that guy. I know I can hold my own. I'm going to run with this guy. And we're going to encompass the entire map and just rack up as many kills as possible. Again, it comes down to confidence. That's the biggest difference between the great players and the really good ones on this. It's, can I send you off to get that bounty? Can I send you off to get that scavenger on your own? And are you going to come back alive? The fact of the matter is, with them, the answer is
more often than not. See, once again, though, as soon as they get bought back and dropped back in, Blue did get lasered down. And that's just one of the unfortunate circumstances being in, where you're just not quite ready for coming right back because you don't have all that armor set up. You know, you don't exactly get the opportunity to hit your loadout if it's not anywhere near where your team is. So it's kind of a risk and reward type where you get bought back, but you're coming back with a clean slate. You got nothing in your inventory.
FIFA maybe.
Yes, indeed. And as we see 2 down guys wishing that they could punch each other or something, but I always love seeing that. But no, you're absolutely right. There's so much strategy involved. And one of the biggest things you see as we watch this team is how often they're referencing the map. You see that map pop up about once every 30 seconds, and it's because of knowing where is that loadout, where can I drop, where is my team, where is the enemy pushing from. Having that map memorized like the back of your hand is such an advantage, and clearly they have that down.
And it's even more so, I mean, everyone, you know, playing in competitions where it's multiplayer, where you're team deathmatch or whatever, that's a lot easier to get the angles down and to get an understanding of where you need to be positioned to take advantage of the way the zone's coming in or anything else that's going on. But with Warzone, like you said, you have to be familiar with everything that's going on, the entire map. You have to be aware and cognizant of everything around you and any angles that anyone could possibly have on you, plus the rotations that you need to make, where players are going to be pushing in from. There's just so much more to factor in because this is such an huge open world that you have to now experience and compete in.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, there are so many factors. There are height advantages. There are which building is this guy in? Hey, there's 4 of them, only 2 of them are in this building. Where are the other 2? Now you got to look behind you, and all of it is communication. There's no such thing as communicating too much. We all got really nice headsets with microphones attached. Use them. That's what I tell my buddies when I get rushed by somebody. Like, hey, how am I getting shot at by somebody who I didn't know was there? And you're sitting there looking at them. You got a microphone. You spend money on it. Use it. Talk to me. Communication is key.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, you know. the communication and being able to really talk about, okay, where are these players coming from? You know, what's going on? So switching over, as we saw FaZe Blue's squad get wiped out, we touched in there with Amon Green. This is Justin Palacios here, who is pretty familiar with Call of Duty in general. We'll be able to get a full in-depth dive to his biography once we get into the second round, be able to introduce the other 4 teams. But yeah, he's certainly familiar with the esports scene as well. And this is another squad that I would keep an eye on for sure, because they have good potential to be someone that's in the running for winning this event.
Absolutely. And you know what's so fascinating about the Warzone thing, whereas, you know, before we've had Team Deathmatch, we've had Search and Destroy, and that is strictly on your team. Hey, it's my team versus your team. There's no one else on this map. The Warzone aspect is you're not in control of the other 146 guys, I know you like that map, that are on that map with you. Maybe you hop in with the other half of FaZe Clan. Like, you have no control if you're playing against a top-notch team or a team who just downloaded the game last night. And that's why it's really wide open. No matter how good a team is, you're not in control over who you're playing against.
Yeah, it's an interesting sort of taste where you think there's a level of skill-based matchmaking, but then just sometimes you just drop into a lobby and it's like, I'm pretty sure all these players bought this game yesterday. And I don't think they're quite at the level that I feel like I'm normally playing at.
And what a special feeling that is. That is so better than Christmas. I wish they could bottle that feeling and sell it. I would buy all of it.
The Christmas noobs, even. That's just the greatest time of year. But Warzone's free to play, so you don't even get that. It's just...
Yeah.
So we see checking in here with Team Black Crystal, another squad that is very relevant to the esports scene, and someone that this is the 3rd team I had Nasrisk on. This is someone else to watch and keep an eye on here, because this team is an esports organization. They are an esports squad, and certainly could once again play spoiler to someone there at the top of the leaderboard. Like you said, though, you never know what kind of lobbies you're going to get into.
Absolutely. And I mean, look at Crystal Sooner right there. That is the definition of locked in. Look at that posture. Upright, lean forward, locked in. You see her mouth moving quite a bit. She's communicating with her team. That is someone who is ready to go. Round 1, but every round's a championship round for her.
That was amazing.
And so far, I mean, we really haven't seen a whole lot of hyper-aggressive outside of the FaZe clan. I mean, even here, you know, not a whole lot of money in the inventories are still coming around the early zones of this map. Don't have their custom loadouts yet. At least it doesn't appear so. What is the sort of approach that you would recommend or would see if you'd like to have someone going more aggressive to immediately get the loadout? Is that first priority, or, you know, what's the sort of steps you want to take upon dropping into the map?
You know, everyone has their own strategy, but for me, you base it off of what you're good at and what you're bad at. I am terrible at sniping. I am terrible at any one-shot marksman rifle. I need as many bullets as possible. My strategy is spray and pray. So I am a light machine gun guy, or I'm an assault rifle guy if it's a gun like the Kilo, which can hold 100 rounds. I am aggressive. I run at you, and I know I have more bullets than you, and I can't aim, so I need every single one of those bullets. But that is my strategy, and shout out to my buddy Justin. He is the sniper. He hangs back as I'm getting bombarded and guys start to pop out and show themselves. He picks them off. So I say all that to say that is my strategy. I'm running in there like a chicken with his head cut off, and everybody else kind of picks their place after that. What about you, sir? You have been an avid Call of Duty gamer from the day this Warzone was downloaded.
For sure. I kind of had an adjustment of my gameplay style. So to begin with, I was kind of in the same point where I wanted to be that front line, the front tank, to just go in and draw all the attention. And everyone shoot at me, and I got more bullets than you, so I'm going to kill you. You think I'm out of ammo? Well, you're wrong, because I still have 75 more bullets left, and you are reloading. So I'm going to go with that. But then I started to adjust, and I had to make adjustments because of the way the rest of my team played. And some of them were playing a little more conservatively. I'm like, okay, well, now I can take the time, and I grabbed the marksman rifle, I grabbed my snipers, and I just like to sit back, and I just dome rock people all day long. And they just never see it coming. They don't have a chance. I'm like, all right, well, that's one down. Let's just finish the rest of the squad and go take all of their stuff.
You know, it truly upsets me that there are some of life's pleasures that I will never be able to experience, and that's one of them. Because I can't. I mean, this goes back to the original Halo, running around on Blood Gulch as a freshman in high school. I mean, I could not aim no matter what first person shooter I was ever playing with. Oh my gosh, I was never able to aim. So if you could teach me one day, if you're offering lessons, please let me know.
Time and practice, as with all things. Absolutely, I'd be more than happy to throw in a few tips and pointers there. But of course, it all comes down, like you've talked about, it's all really in a personal preference, you know, especially when you start to add in attachments. You know, some will aim down sights, and this is just for any weapon in general, not even snipers. Just aim down sights faster. You get the mobility where you can just run faster, or you can change from the sprint to aiming. You can put the tac lasers on, so you can just hip fire all day long with an LMG, but those bullets are all going in a straight line, and you don't have to worry about any of it. So it all comes down to a preference, and that's one of the best things I think about Warzone is that you can really see so many people's different approaches and what they do, and there's so many viable options for weapon choice because of attachments. You can use whatever you want, and it might be the next considered OP meta thing that happens in this game.
Absolutely. There's an unlimited amount of strategies, and there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, there's just the one that works for you, and that's what I love about it. And real quick, while we're looking at Team Black Crystal, it's important to note that Black Crystal's team is an all-female group of recording artists from Columbia Records. Also on that team is Amber Tedesco from the NFL Alumni Association, so we are so grateful for her and her team sponsoring this event. But an all-female group here to wreak havoc. Beware.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, why I put the asterisk on them. Certainly someone to be looking out for here because of the fact that, I mean, they just look like they, I mean, we've already seen the focus here from Crystal alone, just dialed in, locked in, focused, and they are here to compete, and it's certainly a good competition. And one of the benefits of whatever 2020 is, what the chaos that is this open to this decade, is the fact that you can get people like this. You can get recording artists, you can get musicians, you can get basketball players, football players, baseball players, you can get anyone and everyone all in the same game, in the same tournament to compete for this. And that's something that really is unprecedented, that we've never really had this opportunity to do. And I, for what it's worth, love that 2020 has given us this opportunity.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this has been such a chaotic year. There's been a lot of pain, a lot of grief, but one of the few silver linings is growth, and there's still some room to go, but the bridge of understanding of what esports truly is. I mean, this ESTV thing is still fairly young, but I remember when we first started, people were like, wait, so people get paid to play video games? People watch people play video games? What the heck is this Twitch thing? And you know what? With the growth of Madden tournaments being shown on major sports networks, iRacing on Fox Sports got millions and millions of viewers, and so many friends have reached out and said, you know what, I get it now, I totally get it. And that is such a heartwarming feeling of the growth of this sport. And I mean, the sky's truly the limit.
It absolutely is, and it's exciting just to see where it's going to go, and as it continues to progress and get bigger and bigger and get more people in and involved in this one. As we switch over to Team Vereen here, who is, you know, we talked about all 4 tournaments when your brother was participating. They were always just kind of coming up short and just falling a little bit shorter than where we would expect them to be. What kind of coaching have you given your brother? Because I know we had the conversation. You got to give him some pointers. You got to give him something. So what's that inside track like? You know, what words of advice are you giving to him?
Well, I think back to our times of being, I mean, even 6 and 9 years old running around. He is a competitor. Every loss he takes personally, and he is excited about this team. Now, he told me earlier this week he had a ringer, and that right there is the second name down. You see Michael McMahon. He said he is one of the best Shane said he's one of the best gamers I have ever seen. So look for him. And also that name, Andrew Goldberg, the last name Goldberg, you might be familiar. His uncle is the Goldberg. Yes, indeed. Yes, hey, he went out and got some ringers, Trevor.
That's
I'm telling
awesome.
you. He went out and got some ringers. So that is the nephew of the Goldberg. And Shane also excited about Sir Sergio Vega as well. You know, there have been some names that have cycled through Team Vereen based off who's available, who isn't, but this is as excited as I've seen him about this team. He brought some firepower today. He is tired of losing.
I mean, and that's something that we saw with all of the teams, right? With Mitch Garver and his team, and as well as Brett Phillips and his squad. You know, they would cycle players out.
Baseball started up, right?
Yeah, upon availability, but they were cycling in all of these really good players and getting these ringers and figuring out what sort of rosters are working for them. So, fingers crossed, this is the one for Vereen. And it popped up in pre-production. I saw Andrew Goldberg's name. I was like, wow, that's awesome. You don't ever get to see Goldberg's name that often. I didn't think it was actually related to him. That's even better. And I'm sure my friend that's going to be watching is going to be so happy. He's a huge wrestling fan, so he's going to be like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Exactly, man. You know, I know 3 of them are. I'm not exactly sure where Sergio resides, but at least those top 3 are all Colorado residents. So this is a Colorado crew running around up there in the mountains, ready to wreak some havoc here in this Warzone tournament.
Well, hopefully that's going to be what's happening here. I mean, we've seen pretty decent gameplay out of Team Vereen from both Warzone, Team Deathmatch, Search and Destroy. They've always been relevant and getting and advancing in the brackets, but they just never had that finite touch where they could finish it off and seal the deal. So this is their opportunity. It's their time to step up. And even in the sense of just team football, we've talked about team baseball. Basketball won a couple. I mean, baseball won like the first 3. And I think basketball won the last one.
Yep.
And it was just, when is football's time to shine? Like, it's got to come eventually, right? Is this the week?
Yes.
You know, and unfortunately for them, well, like anything, tournaments grow, word gets out, and I'm so happy for the team of ESTV. Early on, we were reaching out to people asking them if they wanted to be involved. Now it's the exact opposite. People reached out to us asking to be involved, and what comes with that is you get guys like Face Clan, you get guys like Face Blue. So the competition going, I mean, I hope we do this forever. The competition is only going to get tougher. So I say that to say the sooner you wake up, the better, because God knows who's going to be here next time.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, with that incline in skill level, becomes that much more difficult to win because of, like you said, the people bringing in. And we've seen, you know, with Nick Merckx and his MFAM tourneys, you know, Call of Duty putting on their own Warzone tournaments as well. I mean, there's just a huge network that is catering to Warzone competitions, and it's the game that just keeps adding. I mean, all battle royales really, even, you know, to an extent of Apex, Fortnite, Call of Duty, you put all them together, and then you start to add in new ones like Hyperscape coming into the mix as well now, and then Valorant with its launch. No, obviously not a battle royale, but still a huge title launch. And all of these different games coming in now, and in the time where esports is, as we've mentioned, coming to the forefront of being recognized as a viewership sort of potential, and you bring in these players that are this good at one thing or another, players that are switching from one game to another. One of the top 5 Call of Duty Warzone players in the world was a former League of Legends player, and now he's at the top of the leaderboards setting world records like it's nothing.
It's unbelievable, and credit to Activision for making such an engaging game. This game came out just before COVID hit, but I would say from a popularity standpoint, it really struck right when everybody was going to be stuck indoors for the foreseeable future. And it is so tough to remain relevant in the video game world. You know, the Fortnites are not the norm. That is the exception to be a relevant game for that long. And it appears that Warzone is on the same path. So credit to them. It is so competitive to even have your game be relevant, to even have a top Twitch streamer play your game for a month. But here we are 3 months in, and I would say Warzone is, if not the most popular game, the second or third most popular game, and the sky's the limit. 50 million plus users. Credit to Activision. Tremendous game.
Yeah, they've done very well, especially even with PR and, you know, the events. And this season obviously coming to a close. I think next Monday is the last day of this season. So more changes coming in. Of course, we had all the rumors last time. They're going to blow up the dam. The whole map's going to get nuked. It's all going to get changed. They're going to take the hyper-aggressive Fortnite approach. We'll see what is really going to be coming into the next season. But for where we're standing now, I mean, Activision's just done so well with this, and there's really no sign of them slowing down.
Not at all. And Activision, I know you're listening. Open up that stadium. We want to go inside the stadium. We've been begging for it. I know you can do it. We know you have the capabilities. Open up that stadium. Let us explore. Do it.
Even to a point of just like allow us on a giveaway to get on top of stadium besides a helicopter, because at least with downtown campers, you can put an airstrike on the rooftop, or you can take the elevator, you run up 75 flights of stairs to get to the top of the building. With stadium, there's a squad up there just sniping the whole game, and you can't do anything about it. Like, all right, well, they're just gonna stay there because no one can change anything about what's happening right here. Open up stadiums inside, give access to the roof, done.
Boom. Just like that. And you asked me earlier about me and the guys I usually run with our personal strategy. I left that one major point because you just talked about the downtown campers. Our #1 rule, don't go downtown. We avoid downtown like the plague. We hate it. We stay away from it because you can't cross the street without 5 guys on rooftops that are unreachable shooting down on you. So I forgot to mention that earlier. We stay the heck away from downtown whenever we can.
Yeah, it's risky business going down there. Unless you are like one of the first teams down there and you assert your dominance and you become the very thing that you hate and you sit on top of the rooftop explicitly just to not let anyone else do it. And then everyone else thinks that you are the rooftop campers. Like, well, this is just a lose-lose. I hate all of this. So I like that. Avoid it.
It is a catch-22. The whole downtown thing is like you said. There's the tallest building in the map. Either I get there and, like you said, become the thing I hate, or somebody else gets there and kills me. I believe it was the Dark Knight when you die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. That is downtown in a nutshell.
That's all there is to it. But at the same time, you know, for people like me who loves the sniper rifle, that is a gold mine where I just sit up there and I can see everything everywhere forever. And then people getting sniped, I can't, I can't contest this.
And then, you know, you see a big lug like me carrying around a light machine gun, or a kilo with a 100-round mag running at a snail's pace, just getting picked off. It is brutal. It is brutal down there. I know my strengths, and downtown is not one of them. Oh, crossbow in the gulag. Okay.
Oh, well, there was a crossbow, and then. Ow.
Ouch.
An interesting thing about I really don't like, so they made some of the gulag changes in the last patch where they changed everything basically to marksman rifles or sniper rifles or fisticuffs and a throwing knife, but crossbows, just like a Kar 98, I feel like in the gulag, I mean really almost any weapon in the gulag that they have in there now should be a one-shot. Yes. I should not be able to get a hit marker with a Kar 98 at 10 meters when I shoot you in the chest, or a crossbow hitting you. I should not get a hit marker from that. So let it be a one shot. Like why are you complicating?
I'm with you. I'm 1000% with you. I know you as a sniper rifle user, that gulag where, you know, the sniper rifle pops up quite a bit now. I know you are a little more comfortable, but I don't even use it. If I have a Kar 98, if I have a sniper, if I have any marksman or sniper except for the MK2 carbine, I switch it, I take out the fists, and I just slide and run around and do what I can to be a ninja and punch to death, because I am useless there in the gulag. Like you said, we were talking about it earlier. You are not a fan of what I believe has become a fan favorite is strictly fists, strictly throwing knives, Rambo, raw, brutal alpha dog energy. I love every second of it, but it seems like you are not a fan.
I can't do it. And if it comes down into a gulag where I'm loading in and I realize I got fists and a knife, I just tell my team, find a buy station, because I know I'm not coming out of this one alive.
I'm not coming out of this one. Oh my gosh. Well, first off, let's look at Team Friedman. I mean, look at that floor behind him. That is gorgeous right there. He has just gotten a new fan from me just because of that chessboard checkered floor.
Looking pretty clean there. I'm digging this stash too as well.
Big
Obviously,
fan.
Jeremy Friedman, part of the pop group of the Neighborhood. As you can see, their socials up there in the corner. Neighborhood, obviously being most known for their hit single of Sweater Weather that topped charts at whatever point. It's one of the most iconic songs. I mean, if you've heard the song, or if you listen to the song, you would know it. It's a great thing, and that, like I had mentioned earlier, just bringing all of these different types of people into the event, into the tournament. You're able to bring in musicians like this. It just really makes things so much more exciting because you get a little bit of everyone from all angles to be able to compete in this, and it's really cool to be able to see these worlds colliding, really.
I love it, man. I love it. You have baseball players whose season has started. They would love to participate, but
Yes.
they got some things going on right now. We've had NBA players. We've had international basketball players. We've had WNBA players. We've had recording artists. I mean, it just shows that games can bring everyone together. They bring everyone together, and that is what is so beautiful about this thing. And what better example? We're going from Kevin Ware to Almond Green to Shane Vereen to the neighborhood who looks like he has some quasi studio sitting there behind him. It's such a beautiful thing when you realize how much this all encompasses.
Well, as we talk about, your forte of fist fights in the gulag, apparently the man himself has just become responsible for coming out of the gulag with fisticuffs only. We can check the replay here.
Oh, my
just
favorite.
The brute energy. He direct impacted him with the stun grenade or whatever his tactical was, and then just beat him down. I hate all of this, everything about this. But that's just clean. It's as easy as it gets.
I love every second. I'm telling you, I love every second. I can't help but not picture just Rambo in the rain in the jungle with the bandana tied around his forehead, just mano. Only one of us is coming out of here, and it's not gonna be pretty.
An interesting experience, to say the least. That is the gulag nowadays. And even to extend on that, when you get something like the Dragunov or the EBR, which are semi-automatic rifles, just a pro tip for anyone that has experience or has difficulty with the Dragunov or the EBR in the gulag, don't aim down sights, run forward, treat it like a shotgun, and just start spraying. One of those shots is going to hit eventually, I promise you. That's the easiest way to get out of the gulag with those, is just to run forward, don't aim, and start spraying.
I was looking over there, I didn't see him.
Absolutely, and one of the things that people take for granted is they picture every sniper like a Car 98 where you have to reload after every shot. No, those sniper rifles will get off a pretty decent amount of rounds in a short amount of time. Like you said, treat it like a shotgun, run up on them with just fists, slide, change your gun, pop up, and use it like a shotgun. That is the best advice you can give. I had to learn that the hard way, but thankfully I'm not guaranteed dead meat when there is a sniper in my hands now.
And then you also get the people that refuse to pull out their fists and will just run at you with the rifle and then beat you down with the rifle. That's
just
infuriating.
The most embarrassing. I mean, moments like that,
going
man.
Up thinking about it.
Yeah, moments like that is when I think to myself, I haven't had lunch today. Let me get off this game here for a couple hours and hit the reset button because I'm just embarrassed. And the worst part is they have their own kill cam. They get to go talk to their buddies about how they just hit this guy in the head with the butt of his gun 3 times. Oh, it's absolutely brutal.
The worst part about it is when you're engaging in a team fight with somebody and then you go to the gulag and your teammates pick up a kill on the person that sent you to the gulag, and then you face off in the gulag and you die twice to the same person. Like I don't even buy me back. It's not even worth it anymore.
It's hard to come back from that.
Incredibly upset.
It is so hard to come back from that. And while we are giving out gulag tips, I can't take credit for this one, but early on, best advice I got is when you're sitting in the gulag and there is someone, usually you can kind of gauge who you're going to be paired up with, but a lot of times it's just you and another person. Spray paint is still available. Paint that person up in the brightest color possible, and I promise you it will make a difference. Spray paint, people. I don't know why it's in the game, but it's there, and use it in the gulag. Any advantage helps.
I love the people that do that, because then you come back and your teammate's like, why are you neon red? Well, don't worry about it. It's okay. What happened in the gulag stays in the gulag.
And you know what? That is the beauty of it if you're petty enough, because, hey, even if you kill me, you are pink, green, and blue for the rest of the game. So I know you're not winning. I know you're not winning. You may have killed me, but I know you're not winning.
So, and what that does is it puts a target, literally and metaphorically, on that player's back. For players like me with a sniper rifle, I'm like, well, I can't really see anything going on with anyone else on the team because they're all blended in, but Yeah, there's this neon character standing in the middle of a bush that is not camouflaged at all. So, yeah, he's down.
That's the best part. That's the best part because people forget that they got spray painted or they were, texting while they were waiting their turn and they don't even know. And like you said, you're looking through a scope. Hey, what's this pink and purple blob wiggling around in these bushes? Oh, that's the guy who doesn't know he's painted.
Yeah, it's the worst of luck for those players that fall victim to that. But we've seen Team Friedman here. He came back from the Gulag. Their team still kicking here in Superstore. And I know we talked about it a little bit earlier on, with the strategies, everyone going their own different ways. Some teams splitting up, some teams staying together, as we see here, or getting bought back from the Gulag. In a sense of a tournament like this, are you and your squad more likely to be the team that splits up, or are you going to be the squad that sticks together, all for one for all type deal?
We are hey, we're going to go to the same location, but then we're going to split up. Perfect example, Jeremy right here and his team seem to be running Superstore there for a little bit. If we were to land in Superstore, we say, hey, Superstore's pretty crowded. We're all going to go there. Us two are going to go left. You two go right. So we're divide and conquer, so to speak. We all show up at the same place, but we're going to attack you from different angles because even if you get two of us, you're not going to see the two of us coming from the other direction.
Well, I like the synergy. You at least communicate that beforehand because that's, whenever my team would always go Superstore, it's always, okay, in the door to the left. And then after that, there was no plan at all. It was a free-for-all, and people would just scatter. And someone somehow ended up on the opposite side of Superstore. Someone's on the roof, someone's in the offices, and someone's at the gas station across the street. I'm like, what happened? Where did everyone go?
And it really ruins all communication because you hear somebody say, hey, someone just came in. Okay, where? Because we're all in 4 different quarters, and that doesn't help, which is another thing, guys. I said earlier, there's no such thing as too much communication. There's also no such thing as as too much detailed communication, because there is nothing worse than sitting in a house or running across the map and say, hey, there's a guy over there. Okay, thank you for that information that I can do absolutely nothing with. We're all going to die now. Directions, people, up top, you see at the top of Jeremy's screen, north, south, east, west. There's numbers there if you don't want to use the directions. Use them, because you saying, hey, there's a guy in that window does nothing for me.
Yeah, I mean, at least one. In a perfect world, you get cardinal directions, the degree of whatever direction they're looking, and a ping. That's the holy trinity right there. I get all 3 and clear comms, and it's perfect. That's it. I got nothing else to complain about. And at that point, if I fall victim to wherever I should be looking at, that's my fault because you told me everything. You painted a picture, perfect, clear image.
I tell you what, man.
Didn't listen.
I tell you what, the Holy Trinity bit right there. I'm going to cut that clip and send it to the guys I play with because they won't listen to me. Maybe they'll listen to you because I would love that.
That's a thing, with teammate. You play with people, you get more experience, you get a little better, and that's kind of in this tournament setting. As we've seen players rotating rosters based on availability or just getting new players because maybe last week didn't fare as well as you would hope it to be. That's kind of the sort of synergy. You have to build up that type of good collaborative teamwork between everybody. And sometimes it just takes time. You can't just drop into 2 or 3 games beforehand to get a feel for everything. It just doesn't quite work out exactly because they have their own sort of shticks that works better or they do slightly differently. So that there's a sort of adjustment period, which is really relevant to not only esports, but any sort of experience that any of these people are in, whether it be in the music industry or playing professional sports.
Absolutely. You summed it up perfectly. And clearly, Team Friedman likes to live by that creed. Maybe not the most aggressive team that we've seen, but you can tell that they move like a wolf pack. That's what we always say. We are a wolf pack. We move together. When I go this way, you know to go that way, etc. And what a beautiful sight. Just 4 guys running around, knowing what the other's going to do. And like I said, they may not have the most kills, but you can tell that they're going to make a run in here because they move fluidly, as we say here. And I understand why Jeremy's so good at this game. We haven't had an album in like 3 years, so maybe those instruments back there got some dust on him because he's been too busy being so good at Call of Duty. which is a selfish thing to say, but it's just a testament to his talent and that band's talent. So maybe they get a win today, and they have new inspiration to write a song. Because last album, hard to imagine. 2018, we need more. The people want more.
I would not complain at all from a new album drop. There's been, I mean, in the music industry alone, just this week, I mean, Logic, Taylor Swift, there's been like 4 albums drop in the last 3 days that have just
All
been
without
so well.
any announcement, really.
Right.
It's
just
kind of
there it is.
fascinating. You could just, hey, I'm done with my album that I just took a year to make.
Yep.
I'm gonna email the guy at Spotify. Hey, here's the link. Oh, by the way, I should go to Twitter and let you guys know there's been an album out for the last 12 hours. Like, oh, thanks, Taylor. Really appreciate that for letting us in on the secret.
Yeah, by the way, here's some music. I know you weren't ready for it. My last album like just came out, but here's another one. All right, thanks. And then you get people in the mix like Logic, he comes in, drops his album, and says, "Okay, I'm retiring after this one," and signs a 6-7 figure deal with Twitch.
7-figure deal to Twitch. And again, we harped on it just a little bit earlier. The stranglehold that video game culture, that esports has just on the culture as a whole, is so awesome to see. I mean, if you told me 8 months ago that one of the biggest rappers in the world was going to stop rapping and was going to transfer his contract over to a streaming company, I mean, it's unbelievable, and it's still just the beginning. How awesome it is to be in the world of video games right now.
And that's what we talk about, sky's the limit at this point. Everything is continuing to grow and grow and grow. Obviously, very recently with Mixer, unfortunately, closing down the doors for that. A lot of people now going over to Twitch, over to YouTube from there, and other various streaming services. But it's just this huge market that is available for anyone and everyone to use, and now you're getting all these people to come in where you certainly would not expect to see anything from before, because like you said, no one would expect a rapper like Logic to come in and sign a contract like that with an online streaming service like Twitch. And it's really cool to see for the industry as a whole.
And it's interesting that this secret amongst so many people is finally out in the open. It seemed like maybe a couple years back when Twitch and video games really started making a push toward legitimacy. It was, sometimes I play Call of Duty. Oh, you play Call of Duty? Yeah, sometimes I play League of Legends. Oh, I didn't know you played. I would have loved to know that you played that, because I play too. It's awesome to see big time guys, whether it be Jeremy Friedman, whether it be Logic, saying, hey, this is something I enjoy. And as far as fan engagement, Instagram, Twitter, that's cool. But hey, come watch me play a game that we all play. Come play with me. That is engagement in its entirety. And it's just another avenue for people to look to their favorite athletes or celebrities, whatever it may be, and saying, hey, they enjoy something I enjoy. And what's better than that?
And with all of this happening, obviously, virtually at the same time frame of the off season for a lot of these professional athletes, that's why we're not seeing baseball here. As you mentioned, their season has started. So with that being in the off season, there's really not a whole lot going on. A lot of these music artists, they can't go on tour, can't really do anything in that sense. So they get that sort of new avenue of interaction and fan involvement where they get to do this and do things that they enjoy in their free time and make another level of connection with their fans. Like, oh, wait, you telling me the guy from the neighborhood plays Call of Duty? I play Call of Duty, and I love his music. Now I feel that much more connected. Like, that's so cool.
It's awesome, man. It is so awesome. And again, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but I keep harping on it. The change of mindset collectively as a country of video games is something that your nephew does when none of his friends want to play outside. Like, no, it is not only a career, a great career making millions of dollars for a lot of people. It is also a community. And perfect example, I mean, COVID, I can't go hang out with my friends at bars, and now through testing and negative test results coming back, you can hang out with friends who are also safe to hang out with. But early on, from March and April and May, it's like, hey, the only time I can hang out with my friends is in Verdansk. Like, the only time we can hang out is in Call of Duty. The social aspect being brought to the forefront is an awesome thing to see.
Yeah, it's really cool to be able to have, obviously getting progressively we're getting there. You know, we're still 2020 still having its way, but we are getting better and better and closer to the point where we're at this recovery state to get everything back to the way theoretically it should be. I mean, we had sports are starting to go back on again, so I know a lot of people are happy that at least we're getting that sort of normality back into life. But as far as everything else goes, it's just, okay, you take it in stride, take it for what we can, you know, get as much out of what we can that's available. And, you know, still trying to keep everyone safe with the extent of social distancing and wearing the masks. And we're getting there. We're getting there.
Step by step, step by step. I am a native Californian, and I'm in California now. We are not doing our best right now, I would say. Our end of the bargain is not being held up. But hopefully the state of California will collectively, you know, pull our heads out of the sand and get it together. But like you said, as a whole, you just got to do your part, and things will go back to, like you said, whatever normal is. Maybe we'll return there someday. But you want to look back on these times that our grandkids will ask us about one day and say, how did you spend your time? Well, we spent our time donating money to a great cause, playing a game that everybody loves, and I will absolutely be proud about that.
Yeah, it's really an honor to be able to partake in something like this with so many different things that have been going on, so many events happening, to be able to raise awareness and raise funds for this recovery process. And it's something that is a monumental occasion. It is going to be a landmark in the future. You know, there's going to be history books that talk about the great recovery from 2020. I was like, well, what happened in 2020? Well, no one went anywhere. Everyone just stayed at home.
Nothing happened in 2020. That's what happened. Nothing happened.
Everything and nothing at the same time.
Exactly.
It's just like, wait, how does that make sense? It doesn't, but that's just how 2020 was. I don't know.
Oh man, this is just been the longest. God, I almost said year. We're just over. Not even, are we even at the halfway mark? Are we even half? Yeah, we're just over halfway.
Yeah.
But like, it's just. Oh my gosh, man! It has been forever. And like I said, if California and Arizona, Florida, if any of you residents are listening, please do our part. We are all trying to get back to normal. Please, please, please do your part.
I would like to go to a baseball game this year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You are you sure you don't want to just mail in a cardboard cutout?
I mean, I could, I guess, but especially with the Raiders coming to Vegas now. Obviously, we're out broadcasting remotely here because of all of this. You know, I'm in the HyperX Esports Arena in Las Vegas. The Raiders are here now. Like, I can't go to a game. Like, come on.
The city of Las Vegas has been begging for a football team, and now they get one, and they can't even go to the games. It is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And I mean, shoot, out here in Los Angeles, there's been a brand new stadium they've been building since the day I was born. We're not even going to be able to go to those games. You know, it's just heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. You have LeBron James, wherever you stand on where he stands in your top basketball players of all time, he's in the conversation somewhere. And he's playing at Staples Center, and I can't go see him. You know, like, there's just so many, there are so many what ifs and things that we are missing out on. Please, guys, do your part. Be the NFLA. Let the NFLA be the example. They're trying to help. We need you all to help as well.
And that, you know, talking about sporting events, you have LeBron James playing in Staples Center. That could open up an entire new tangent about what the Lakers had done for their roster in the last couple of years, which is insane to say the least. But I digress, because we're coming down to the closing of round number 1 here. About a minute and a half left in this one. And, you know, we've seen some pretty consistent gameplay. I mean, all 4 members here of Team Friedman still alive, still kicking.
I mean, they've been alive for a good at least 12 minutes now. Yeah. I mean, what, let me ask you, when you play quads, when was the last time all 4 of your teammates were alive for more than 5 minutes?
Doesn't happen. Someone always gets caught.
I mean, and that's why I'm so impressed by this team. Yes, they're not the most aggressive team, but they stay alive. They move well. It is clear they play together often, and there's a lot to learn here from a strategical standpoint.
Absolutely. I mean, they're doing pretty well. They've picked up a handful of kills here while we've been spectating on them, and obviously getting those numbers to narrow down, going to be getting into placement point territory. I mean, these circles are getting pretty small here, and it'll be interesting to see just how they fare in this. Obviously, around downtown now all in the gas, so you really don't have to worry too much about that. But this is just all open area, and then the river trench right there. So this is not great as far as area to finish.
That good old wash, as me and my friends call it. We have died many a time in there. Few things more terrifying than this right here, leaving all cover and just running out into the open, and whoever has the most bullets usually wins.
Yeah, just got to be cognizant of where the other players are coming. They see him parachuting off the rooftops, and this is your right up your alley. That LMG, he's just
this is where I thrive.
The whole clip.
This is where I thrive. This is where I thrive. Even if you are not an LMG guy, have a loadout of it, just because when the circle gets down to those final 10 to 15 people, you will be thankful that you have that possibility of having 200 bullets in the tuck.
And that's just one of the benefits really in Call of Duty itself. You know, you have a loadout for every single experience that you're going into. But obviously timer hitting 0, so we're getting numbers all tallied up for where it's going to go into round number 2. Obviously, we'll be introducing the other 4 teams that we did not get to in this round. But initial impressions, you know, what are you thinking based off of the 3, 4, 5 teams that we saw? You know, how do you think everyone's going to be stacking up?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. You know, you have teams like that phase. I mean, Team of Destiny. We can call them the heavy hitters that they got in there, who were so impressive from their aggressiveness. But then you see Team Friedman that is impressive for the exact opposite reason. They stick together. They play patient. But yet, as we left them at the end of round 1, they were getting down to the final 10 people. And actually, Team Friedman just got a Warzone victory. So, hey, that perfectly encompasses this whole thing. You can be aggressive, you can be patient. Both of them can end up in Warzone victories. Tremendous win by Team Friedman.
Absolutely, and all 4 of them on the helicopter ride out of there. A great win for them, a great way to cap off round number 1. Like I said, we will be introducing the rest of the teams we did not get to, but we are going to take a short break before we kick off round 2's action. Don't go anywhere.
The Esports Celebrity Challenge is officially sponsored by JBL. Step up your game with the Quantum 800 headset. HyperX, we're all gamers. Lucid Sound, engineered to win. And MetaThreads, your lifestyle gaming apparel partner.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NFL Alumni's Esports Celebrity Challenge, partnering with the ESTV. My name is Trevor McNeil, alongside me, Brock Vereen, and we are getting ready for round number 2. Round 1 was a doozy.
Oh, yeah, it was. And what a blast it was. You know, this is our... Oh, man, I feel like there's been a million of these, but I think this is our 5th one, and I don't want to speak too soon, but this is as good of competition as we've seen. I mean, guys and girls are absolutely going off. We've seen a multitude of strategies, a multitude of weapons being used, and all of them appear to be successful. Again, this is Warzone, so not everybody is in the same exact map, but every team that we have had the opportunity to look in on is being successful. I haven't seen a single team that looks outnumbered or outmatched.
Yeah, so far everyone has been playing pretty well and, you know, getting to those late game points where they're at least getting those placement points out of that. We've already introduced a handful of the teams. Now we have the luxury to introduce the rest of them. Obviously, starting out here, we've seen a little bit of play here from Black Crystal, part of that esports organization that is the all-female team. You see the rest of the team right there listed on the side, but a gamer through and through, and also a musical artist, you know, with titles like Assassin's Creed, Overwatch, and all the fighting games, you know, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. I can't even think of more. Is there any more that's worth thinking of? Like, those are the 1, 2.
Those are the ones. And again, Black Crystal, Columbia recording artist. We are so thankful to have her and her team, and they are in here wreaking havoc on Verdansk. Beware.
Yep, and to follow up the next team, you see João Oliveira here, a professional FIFA player with Kick Esports. So this is also bringing in the fact you have all these people coming in from different angles to play in this tournament. Also with Chris Ute, another musical artist on his team as well. So you got a little bit of everything on this team.
You got it all. You got it all. And if that doesn't show the totality of what video games can accomplish. I don't know what does. You got a guy who specializes in FIFA. You got a guy who sings. You got some people who rap. What more do you need? The fact of the matter is they all love Call of Duty.
Absolutely, they do. And we've seen a little bit from this next team. That's going to be on Team Friedman, who, as we mentioned, part of the neighborhood, got a pretty good song that made, chart topper, whatever, no big deal. They sweater weather, yeah, what #1 Billboard?
Half a billion
sure.
streams, a little bit of success, I guess.
He's okay. Got the victory
and
royale.
also the first team. Yes, I was going to say it. The first team that we can, we're bouncing around amongst 8 teams. The first team that we can confirm has a war zone victory, and all 4 guys. I don't think one of them died the entire time, which is so rare.
Yeah, I mean, if they did get to the gulag, we saw Friedman did. He came back because he won his fisticuffs battle. But on top of that, we have one more team, that is Justin Palacios here, who has experience playing Call of Duty. He's a 5-time LAN champion, but has decided to take a step back. And now he's playing in a social media role for both the Dallas Empire and for the Team Envy. He's experienced a little bit.
A little bit, just a little bit. No, it's a testament to him to say, I haven't professionally gamed for a while, but I guess I'll pick up the controller and hop in this tournament with some of the best Warzone players in the world and immediately compete for a title. I guess it must be like riding a bike.
Yeah, it's nothing to him, but another Sunday afternoon, stroll through the park. That is the conclusion of our team invitation, but we do have something a little bit different for this round of action. We do have a player trivia brought to you from gamers.vote. This is a former NFL running back. You can see his career highlights, some of his statistics there. This is the question mark. Who is this player? And if you can guess it, obviously we're going to come back at the end of the day and we're going to tell you who this player is. But that's the statistics right there. 8,000 plus career rushing yard, 2-time Pro Bowler, Heisman Trophy finalist. He's been around the block a time or two. So go ahead and put your guesses in, and we'll tell you if you're right at the end of this round.
Yes, indeed. I will have my brain cranking right now, and if I don't have the right answer, you may never see me again because there's no excuse to not have the right answer if I want to represent the NFLA in any way. So I will make sure I get this one
Absolutely.
correct.
So we'll have the gamers.vote player trivia answer to you at the end of the round, but this round has begun. We can go ahead and dive into the action now. We are starting out with Black Crystal and company here. And it's starting off a few kills already in the farmland. An interesting drop because these buildings are just so scattered and so sparse that it's weird.
It is interesting, and I can only speak for me and the guys that I usually run with. But farmland is an area that I don't think anyone's really mastered. Is it safe to say it's a unique place? It doesn't seem like anyone's first option. You just kind of end up there at some point. Is that fair to say?
That's more so, you drop lumber, you drop prison, and then farm is just a stop along the way out of there. But
yeah, farmland is farmland is a. I almost insulted your hometown. I'm not gonna do that. Farmland is a Denver. Farmland is a Denver. Yeah. It is a beautiful place. It is a perfect layover city for whatever reason. You're always laying over in Denver, and you have a great time in Denver. But for whatever reason, you're not there for a long time unless you're visiting my brother. But farmland is really interesing.
Yeah, you're there and you're gone. As we touch
and
in
you're
with
there and
FaZe
you're gone,
Blue here,
but you enjoy the time.
Exactly. FaZe Blue here, once again, going with their strategy, splitting up a little bit. Not too surprising. I talked to him very briefly before this, like 30 seconds of conversation, and just to ask who was on his team, and that I expected great things out of his team for this tournament after he told me who was on there. But obviously with Blue being as good as he is, plus Wars being as good as he is, those are really your quote-unquote top fraggers of the two that are splitting up into. So you can get into 4, and this is the luxury of the Car 98, which a lot of people sleep on. It's so good.
I mean, just look at this right now. Just the amount of confidence by himself in a car, Rolling up on a team of 3. It is unbelievable, and that is the difference in mindset in his aggressiveness. Guys who are aggressive like him, they always have a vehicle. They're always picking up bounties. They're always picking up anything that as he just. I mean, when you look at this trailer, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable, and just like that, he accomplishes a bounty contract. Has more money. He's gonna go right back to a buy station, get some more UAVs. It is nonstop. There's no rest. It is go, go, go when you are this good at the game.
I mean, he just rolled into the store and took on a whole squad by himself.
Took on an entire squad by himself, and you best believe his 3 other teammates are doing the same exact thing somewhere else. The mark of a great veteran player is that you always have a vehicle, and they are at a buy station once every 5 minutes.
Unfortunately for him, though, he is going to get caught up in plating, and the FAL is good, but SMGs at that range, a little better. A little bit.
That'll do it. That'll do the trick. Absolutely. But still, I mean, I pray I get to that point in my life where I can pull up on a bounty by myself. Loud vehicle coming, popping up on the map. You know I'm coming. You know I'm hunting you, and I still take out your whole team.
Check in here with Team Marine, who starting out already under a little bit of fire. Someone in the background, though, getting up a full kill for his teammate, but a lot of pressure here. And that's kind of the advantage, like you're talking about. All 4 of you stick together, but you kind of split up to an extent. And while you're busy shooting at these 2, the other 2 are on the other side flanking you, and you have no idea, get blindsided, and the whole team's still there.
Exactly, and as we see Shane there finishing off a team wipe. They got a handful of guys left. They're going to bring their 4th guy back, and they are in top 15, so that circle's going to get tighter. Let me ask you this. We've been flirting with our personal strategies when it comes to this game. When that circle gets really tight, I mean, the final or second final circle, what is your strategy? Some guys rush to the middle, find one of the few buildings that have a door and get in there. Some people like to ride the gas in. Some people kind of circle and coil their way in. What is Team McNeil's strategy in those situations?
Well, early on, I like to just kind of get as much money as I can, as quickly as I can, to get my loadout, and then the map gives me another loadout, so then I have my perfect setup with all the classes and perks that I want with my FAL and my sniper rifle. I'm happy. And then start to move in kind of based on where circle is going. If it comes down to a point where it's an open area, there's really not a lot there, you know, maybe rocks or what? Did that whole team just get wiped out by C4?
That whole team just got wiped out by C4.
That's not great for
that's not good.
Not good for the brand.
That's not good. Now, thankfully, not all. Thankfully, the gulag isn't closed yet. But you know, it's those are the deaths that wake you up at 3 a.m. wondering if only we didn't get blown up by C4, what could have happened. And as FaZe Blue, again, the thorn in my side is a riot shield. I have to admit, I have forget mastering. I haven't even become a novice at killing somebody with a riot shield, and with ease he takes someone out. It just shows how good he is.
Yeah, it's light work. He's literally just circling this area and picking up one after another, while his teammates are putting them under pressure.
This is unbelievable.
He's gonna pick up that guy's M4, keep his car as well. It's just.
I mean, look, if you're gonna kill me, that's one thing, but don't take my gun and my car. Come on, show some class, you know. Show some respect for the dead, please.
It's even more satisfying in the same sense we talked about. You know, you go to the gulag, and then if he hit that shot, okay, yeah, that's the car 98 for you.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
And oh my lord.
So effort, and just like that, another team taken out.
That's 1, 2, 3. Triple kill there for Blue.
Yeah.
And I'm sure whoever the 4th person is some. If I'm the 4th person, I'm running the other way at this point.
Yeah, especially if you see that name in the kill feed, or your teammates on comm with you, and like, oh, it's FaZe Blue. Don't do it. It's not.
Run. I mean, this is outrageous. This is outrageous. You know, they're whether it's watching Tom Brady play quarterback, whether it's watching Neymar or Messi play soccer, there's just a jealousy that comes with watching somebody do something that you will never be good enough to do. And this is how I'm feeling right now watching FaZe Blue.
Yeah, it's it's a little disheartening, but then it's inspiring and motivating as well. Like I'm gonna go home after this, and I'm gonna go play Call of Duty, and I'm gonna do what that guy did.
Yes.
That's not
Unfortunately, my results won't be as good,
No.
but the effort is going to be there.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll into store 1v4, and I'm not gonna see any of them, and I'm just gonna die. Well, I tried. I'll get them next time.
And we are back with Team Lost Rings, led by Columbia recording artist Black Crystal. Her single Party Up, doing wonderfully. Make sure you go to Spotify, Apple Music. I'm sure there's a million other streaming services. A new one comes out every day. Find Black Crystal on there. Go ahead and stream Party Up, because in her free time, she is doing what we all love, and that is dominating in Warzone. Right now, this is the definition of team on your back, it looks like. Oh, no, she is dead. We were watching her teammates. And let me ask you, Trevor, do you love these situations or do you hate them when you have 3 of your teammates waiting for you to somehow get the money together to get them all back? Do you thrive in the pressure, or do you feel nerves?
A little bit of both. Most of the time, it's my teammates, third party, trying to tell me, backseat driving, if you will.
That's the worst.
I turn around and say, hey, all right, stop talking. I'm alive, you're not. And
I'm alive.
we'll get there.
Is there anything worse than just sitting in a building? Maybe you got a group of 3 coming up the stairs, and you're trying to listen in, hearing if they're above you or below you, but you got 2 of your buddies talking about some movie that just came out. It's like, hey guys, shut up. One of us is still alive here, and I want to get you guys back.
You want to get bought back or not? No? Okay. Thank you.
Ooh, okay. That is another good question. What is your personal team's pecking order for who gets bought back? I love asking people this. Is it based off of talent, or is it based off of order of death?
I don't even think that we've established that.
Okay.
I think it's just a free-for-all. You just go to the station, and whoever gets hit is the one that goes.
Okay,
You guys,
that's fair.
do you have one? Is
That's
there
We
person with
go,
most damage, or?
Yeah. Usually, it's based off of what the situation is. If it's early on and it's wide open, all right, whoever died first, you've been waiting the longest, come on back. But as it gets down to it, it's, hey, what do we need? Do we need a sniper? Our sniper's coming back. Do we need a guy who's gonna run in there and die in 30 seconds? Okay, let's get Brock back. It's very scenario specific.
Okay, that's fair.
And there is a bounty that appears to be pretty close here. Let's see what the strategy is going to be here as far as getting them back. As far as getting this kill and getting money to get 2 people back.
Yeah, that'll be a great addition for them. You see the buy is going to be paying. There's well within zone still up here at the military base. Imagine the player is going to be up in that building to the left. That's right on that corner, that 2-story building. But obviously that player now realizing that the bounty hunter is close by, not really going to be doing too much. You see that yellow circle pinging around.
Yeah, it's almost like the bounty's hunting them in a way, it appears, because they are certainly floating around that area. They of course, if you have a bounty on you, for those who don't know, you are aware when you're being hunted. You are aware how close the person is, and based off this bounty's lack of movement, they're clearly forcing this person to come to them.
Yeah, and that's, one of the things that a lot of people will do. If you have that bounty, and a question applicable to you as well, some people will just sit back and they'll just wait and say, okay, you come to me, and set up the ambush, or they'll go find the bounty and use that tracking system as a way to decide how close or far that other team is, because it's a sort of reverse tracking. Like, okay, well, I know someone is pretty close to me now because I'm being hunted by them, so now I'm going to go kill them. So are you the type that's going to go find your bounty hunter, or are you the one that's setting up an ambush?
If it's early on, I'm going to bail, because I know any psychopath who lands on a bounty and picks up a bounty right away got lucky and found a legendary gun off the rip, and I say, okay, they have something that I don't have. I'm running around with this pistol. I'm getting out of Dodge. If it's later in the game and I have at least 3 guys, I figure, hey, they're getting a bounty because they need the money. Likely it's only 1 or 2 people, then I will pursue.
And that's also an interesting sense of, what's going to happen with the bounties, because they're, like we've talked about, confidence is huge in this game, where if you have the sort of guts to just pick up your loadout immediately and just go guns blazing into something, then you are miles ahead because, as you put it, if someone's busting through a window and just spraying down 100 rounds, I'm terrified. I am crying on the inside. I'm like, I don't want anything to deal with you because you are insane, and now I'm dead because I just was not ready for that at all.
Absolutely.
So there's the two types of people that will pick up those bounties. It's those that are confident, and they're going to be kicking down the door and claiming that bounty immediately, or it's the players that, like you said, find a legendary weapon and they're not even worried about it because they feel like that they have the leg up on you.
You know, I'm thinking back to the countless times I've had a target on me, and you know, yes, it is intimidating when you're stuck in a house and a team pulls up on you and they have your bounty, and you know, you hear them planting C4, planting proximity mines, kind of throwing off smoke grenades, doing all this, and that ends up how it ends up. But let me tell you, Trevor, you want to know fear? It's when somebody has a bounty on you. They're pulling up in a Jeep, honking the horn, letting you know they're there. That is terrifying. That is scary. So when I think back to being aggressive versus not being aggressive, I think of the fear that I have when I think back. I mean, I have PTSD from that. Honking the horn, let me know they were there, bursting through the windows, making as much noise as possible, and then killing me. When in doubt, be aggressive.
Yeah, there's an extra sense of fear that's added to that because when all of a sudden you're being hunted down and your threat level goes from a yellow bar to red, as soon as a Jeep pulls up and you hear the 1812 overture playing in the background, you're like, that's it. This is it. This is the death song. I'm done.
Ends, boys. This is how it ends. Oh, you have got to love this game, man. And again, it goes back to the like any other sport, the countless strategies involved in, you know, with the growth of Twitch, just watching different people play. I mean, it's no different from watching a Patriots game versus a Rams game versus a Falcons game. You get three different strategies, but three teams who have the same goal. We want to win. That's no different from playing FIFA, from playing Madden, the video game, from playing 2K, from playing Warzone. There is an unlimited amount of ways to win. It's a matter of what works for you.
And as we see what is working so far for the neighborhood, they did get that victory to cap off round number 1. All 4 of them sticking together. You saw Jeremy there with the map up. UAV popped. So they know there's at least 2 to 3 teams in this immediate vicinity. You got one here in blue. There's one in hangars as well. So he's starting to lay down some suppressing fire. And that's... You talk about an LMG and laying down the firepower. With 100 rounds in a kilo, 100 rounds base in LMGs, this man's got over 150 rounds, pushing 175 in this LMG. That fire is going to start, and it's not going to stop until the battle's done.
Exactly. Now, yes, it takes forever to reload, but when you only got to reload 3 times for an entire game, it usually wins. And that is one of the many strategies of this game. Is like, hey, your gun has more firepower. I get it. The fact is, if I can survive your first clip, I'm going to win every time because you have to reload and I don't.
And even in the sense of where you put a tac laser on it, you can even get away with going into closer range situations and just hip fire, and you're still firing a laser, and you're not even worried about it.
Absolutely. I mean, there's sometimes when you have so many bullets, you start shooting before you even open the door because you have bullets to spare, and you're guaranteed to get the jump on them. As we go back to FaZe Blue, whose team is in the top 10. This is when it gets interesting.
Yeah, they are set up really well right now. All 4 of them alive, all 4 of them fully plated up, and they've got a good amount. Obviously, someone just getting bought back and immediately someone else dropping after that. I mean, Blue himself has 15 kills, and I mean, with this sort of zone, this is still a pretty open area as well, but it looks like they're trying to gatekeep and not let these players feel safe moving into zone from parking garage.
It certainly appears that way. For this circle to be this big and only 8 teams left, that's exactly what must have happened. It's always interesting, you know, based off the circle, which is chosen at random. Sometimes you get 50 people who die in the first 30 seconds. Sometimes you have a tiny circle with 20 teams left. You know, there's so much of this game that is out of your control. But if you get a team that's capable of being in the top 7, full shields, all with self revives, I think you're faring pretty well.
And at this point, you know, you see Wars just immediately going out there. Explosives going down. Does have the self-revive. Is going to use that one full through. Not going to tap to get him back up. But simply just saying, okay, we're going to go out of this one. Throwing the stuns, and the flash is down. RPG still coming out, though. Oops, that door closed. Yeah, he's going to get taken all the way down almost. Trying to get back into safety. Grenade about to finish him there, but the self-revive is going to be enough to get him up. But this other team is giving them a lot of trouble here.
They are giving them some work right now. I mean, this is fascinating. And what's always interesting about these moments is you're making so much noise. Even teams who aren't involved now can rush you and just pick off the runs of the litter, we'll call it, because we know you guys are wounded.
And I mean, you see,
which appears to be what happened there. A guy pops up at the top of the stairs who wasn't even involved, but hey, I'm gonna finish off this situation.
But they are very wealthy. You see, teammates got $10,000. They had a whole lot of kills to their name, plus the buy station right there. He's going to get shot from the window, though, but he did buy them back in time. So at the very least, the teammates are coming back. He's going to get full kills right there. But in a similar situation, fresh drop here into this game as we're getting into the lobby drop here. We'll see where Black Crystal and Team Lost Rings are going to go.
Let me ask you, is the warm-up lobby a time to chat and tell jokes with your buds, or do you actually treat it as a warm-up?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on the weapons that you get, because obviously you do get the experience for your weapons to unlock attachments. If I get something that I'm trying to unlock something for, then yeah, I'll do that. But otherwise, it's just I'm not really trying at all. It doesn't.
And thanks to the noble sacrifice of one of FaZe Blue's teammates, they now have 2 guys back in this game. And top 4. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, still trying to put a lot of fire down. This time does have the assault rifle, so he's able to at least put this back. They pick this up off of the overpass. They do have a loadout that is pretty close to them as well, but in a very open area. Especially with all of that hillside to the right, that is dangerous. But they are now gatekeeping out of this one, so this team is going to be in the storm. The only part that's not is the corner of that building. And you see them peeking over on the rocks here. Seem like they've got out of that one, but they do have at least an inside track. But the most wanted up there on the hillside as well. They're a rock and a hard place.
And as you see there, they target that most wanted because, for those who don't know, if you survive that most wanted contract, your entire team comes back, and what an advantage that would be in a moment like this. So they made sure, they're making sure to take care of that.
And this is a point where it seems like they realized this is probably a solo player up here. They didn't see anyone else running. They were able to circumvent the side and get, you know, a couple ticks on the gas mask, but going through here. But if this is a solo player, neither one of them have any armor plates at all. This is the better fight for them to take because the team that did just kill them gave them all kinds of trouble. So they are going to get the down and going to end up getting a kill here. So they'll be able to take his loot and his money. And that's enough to buy one more back.
No, it looks like he didn't have any shields. But yes, that again is a sign of a team with a strategy and knows what they're doing. And right there, they know that people are coming down, so they're gonna take them out. Just to have the awareness and to think 5 steps ahead. That's how you get this far in this game, as they sit in the top 3.
Wars here getting tagged quite a bit from that other team that they were engaging with. That's the benefit. That solo player taking the most wanted contract because of the fact that he is at that point a solo player. If you do survive the entire duration of the most wanted contract, the rest of your team is coming back. So that's his long con to get into that one. Did survive that contract and then brought his team back. Unfortunately, one of them immediately falling victim to Wars. But this is just a really, really hard game for them because they just don't have the armor to be able to win these firefights.
Shields are everything. We have a 1 versus 3 situation. And they're going to finish second place with more than 60 kills, Trevor.
That's
pretty good. 60 kills. That is pretty dang good. And the only way to really compete with that is to get wins, which we have seen Team Neighborhood is more than capable of doing.
Absolutely. And once again, it seems like we've seen them in this exact position before, where they're running all together on this roof
all 4
towards airport.
Alive.
Like, this is A carbon. Are we sure this isn't a replay? Because this looks like the exact same thing that I just saw.
It honestly might be, and this is the second or third time now we've seen Team Neighborhood find their way to the airport, not just Team Phase Blue. Let me ask you, what part of, well, pun intended, what neighborhood of the map do you and your team feel most comfortable in? What is that area where that you either drop in or the circle takes you there, where you say, okay, we're making it out of here. This is where we thrive.
So personally, for me, I like the area that is south of Superstore, northeast of Promenade, and you have those two buildings that are kind of semicircular. There's the mountain off to the side, gas station right in front, and then across the street is like 2 blocks north is the Superstore itself.
Yes,
I really like that area.
Okay, I love it there.
I get to see, like, those buildings are tall enough that I can see people on the mountainside. I can see people coming in from Superstore. I can see people coming in from Promenade as well. And as a sniper, that's everything I could ever ask for, is to see all of these points of interest, these high traffic areas, and watching people on their rotations and taking pop shots and just being annoying. That's my favorite thing to do.
Absolutely, and there's it's fascinating to look at an area and say, I know this area like the back of my hand. Even if we don't drop there, if we roll up on it, it's such an advantage to say, where would I be in this scenario? And 9 times out of 10, that's where someone is. And that's what comes with the benefit of dropping in a place so many times. You can anticipate where guys are going to be, where they're going to run to, and what an advantage that is. I love asking guys where their favorite area is, and then I know that if they say port, they're a psychopath, and to remove them from my life.
Yeah, that's and I don't know anyone that likes port. Like, why?
I knew one, but he has since, like I said, been removed from my life. And I knew him from college. Great guy, beautiful daughter, beautiful wife. I wish him well. But we played together for the first time. He said, "Hey, let's drop port." And in the back of my mind, I said, "This is the last time we're playing together, buddy. Nobody drops port. You can't be trusted."
I think, yeah, I have that area as my number 1. My number 2 is lumber, because I always call it Lumby, as if, RuneScape. So see ya in Lumby, noobs, and we drop to lumber.
You don't ruin a good nickname.
I love lumber. But what's your go-to? What's the Brock Vereen special?
I am a Promenade East until I die.
Okay.
I love being up there. You have that little fair / carnival down below,
Yep.
and there's a bank there. The green buildings, for those who are fairly new to this game, a building with a green roof is usually a bank. What do you find in bank? You find a lot of money. So I know I'm going to get a load out early. I'm dropping in an area not a lot of people drop in, and there's a bunch of orange boxes. That's a win-win-win right there.
That's smart. That's pretty close to, lumber has a lot of that. And I think that's a great thing about this map design in general for Warzone, is that every POI has something like that you can access, whether it's a police station that has the ammo cache, or whether it's a bank nearby that has all of that loot and money, or these fire stations that are usually pretty well stacked and have the vehicle. I think that's so great about Warzone, that you have so much variety in everything. And it's not like it favors one portion or the other.
Absolutely. I mean, they spared no detail in this game. The amount of detail in it, they thought of everything. And gosh, what an incredible game. The last 2 weeks there have been announcements and presentations. Oh, you hate to see that. There have been announcements and presentations on the PS5, on the new Xbox Series X coming out, and at the end of the day, if you're going to have Warzone on there, I'm in. I can't envision a future where this game is not in my rotation.
And the best part about it is it's free to play. Like, you don't even have to own the Call of Duty title. You can just download Warzone and play whenever you want, and it makes it that just accessible to everybody. Granted, there's a 75 gigabyte update every other day, but it's like I got to clear out my hard drive to update Call of Duty, but I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna keep playing.
I have to anybody who represents Activision who's listening, I want you to know I'm on you. This used to be a conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Those updates are only about 12 gigs, but they're going to tack on 60 more to make sure you have to delete your other games. I only have 2 games left on my hard drive because I've had to delete everything. That's exactly what they wanted. But you know what? You're scheming the system. Bravo to you, Activision.
Yeah, it's working for them. That's the only reason I don't have it downloaded on my console. Can't
There
do
you
it.
go.
It's valuable hard drive space.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that.
Early
And here
on
they
here.
are at Superstore. Once again, Superstore is such a toss-up. So, a lot of times it is so packed because no matter if you land there, you're gonna get your $10,000 for a loadout, and you're gonna have your choice of weapons, and you're gonna be maxed out on ammo and shields. Even a team of 4. The flip side of it is you're gonna have to fight for that, and sometimes it's
Yeah.
again, it goes back to the strategies. Some people like to drop in hot at a good place. They say, hey, maybe we're all going to die, but if at least one of us wins, we know we're going to have a lot of money and a lot of weapons. Or the flip side of, hey, I'm going to drop a little outside the circle. I'm going to drop it in an area that nobody drops. I like patience. I like to get my loadout, take my time, get a strategy, and then enter the quote-unquote war zone.
And that's also the interesting point in the sense of you get players like this that have the level of confidence where they're, okay, we can drop Superstore with 40 other people and we're going to come out on top and we're not even worried about it. So it's just they get away with that and they come out ahead of everyone else because of it. And obviously they got their loadout. Now they're going to go split off their own separate ways and start to just destroy the rest of the lobby.
Good luck to that lobby. I'll tell you what, good luck.
Yeah.
And looking in on Team Varine, and I tell you what, they look fluid. Again, Shane was excited. He was running with some new guys this week, guys he was very excited about, and they've looked as good as I've seen. Now, granted, this is only the second time that we've done Warzone. The other times where we did Warzone the first time, then we did some team deathmatch and search and destroy. But I tell you what, they're doing a lot more living than they were the previous Warzone. There was a lot more dying in the past.
Obviously, catching up with it, kind of understanding the plays that they need to make. And you talk about bringing in his ringer. I'm curious to see where they bring this talent in from, because it's, how do you, other than just looking at the leaderboards or just, watching people stream or something, how can you tell this guy is the guy? If he's the main component, he's the key, he's the IGL, the core of my team that I want, and he's the key to victory.
That's a great question, and it's such a toss-up. I think trial and error is the only way, because we've all had that buddy who, hey, our usual 4, we're hopping on. Oh, man, hey, I can't get on. You got to find a 4th. Everyone has been in that situation where somebody vouches, hey, my cousin's getting on, or my neighbor, he's good, don't worry, and this guy just holds you back and ruins all the chemistry that your team has. So it is a crapshoot, but so far it looks like all 4 of them are gelling. But to have 4 players who legitimately mesh together and have chemistry, it is rarer than you would think.
You're playing with your normal 4, and the one person doesn't make it, and you have someone vouch like that, like, oh, he's good, don't worry about it. That's a red flag to me. As soon as you have to reassure me that he's good, I'm a little worried.
You know what? That is interesting, because if I asked you for a restaurant recommendation in Vegas and you said, oh, go to this place, don't worry, the food's good, guess where I'm not going anymore? Because if you got to tell me and assure me that the food's good, the food ain't good.
It looks bad on the outside, but it's good on the inside. I trust. Just have faith. No, I want to find something else.
I'll go to McDonald's, because at least I know what I'm getting there than this crapshoot that you're sending me to.
As you said, though, it seems like they're gelling pretty well here. All 4 of them still kicking.
All 4 of them alive. I tell you what, from this first round and a half that we've seen, not a lot of gulag, not a lot of time in the gulag. It is impressive that this is high competition, and a sign that fact of the matter is guys are getting better. Early on there was a whole lot of dying, and now we are in our 5th one of these, and guys are doing a lot more living.
Yep, they're just kind of getting used to it, getting accustomed to the flow. The first round, it's an hour of gameplay, obviously, per round. But the first round, it's the warm-up round, okay? We'll kind of feel each other out. You'll figure out what's going to happen, what's going to work best for us. And this is that I don't know if that's a custom weapon, but I don't know. There's a very short list of people that I know that would opt into using a night vision thermal.
I hate that scope more than anything in the world. Let me tell you, I cannot stand it. I cannot see anything out of it. So credit to anybody who can find success with it, because you're a better man than me.
See, I'm on the opposite side of it. I love the night vision thermal scope.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I don't know. It works. I won't ever put it on a sniper rifle. The only thing I'll ever put on a sniper rifle is a standard scope. I don't put any thermals on there because so many people run cold-blooded that it's not even worth it at that point
it starts
anymore.
to get pointless at that point, huh?
And the variable scope for snipers is just so important. Unless it's a Car 98, in which case you just get the optic scope, you're fine. But the variable scope for the snipers is just so good because then you get to be able to see relatively close and you're not hyper zoomed in. But on the other side of it, if you're trying to snipe 600 meters away, you can just zoom in and you can see all of that.
Well, I have to embarrassingly admit something. I can't use variable scopes because I am what they call a button masher, and what comes with that is I am so rough with the joysticks that when I'm shooting somebody with a variable zoom, it keeps flipping back and forth because my left thumb is so strong on the joystick that it accidentally clicks. So I can't use variable zooms because I am too rough with my controllers. I'm not proud about it, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I see a couple of the team here on Varine dropping. Looks like only another one going to be getting down here, but the two left alive, playing a little smarter, a little slower, to not just run out in the open, try to pick up the loot. But they are in a really tough position here.
They are.
Around this wall, there's no cover.
That gas is coming.
Yeah. It's not ideal at all. Plus, now they are going to be in the gas, looking for maybe a way to rotate around, but the gas mask not going to be enough to save him. He's going to get downed. Maybe try to go through the building. There's someone in the building, in the gas, for some reason.
How?
Okay.
I have so many questions. How long? Okay, but a top 5 finish, they're going to get plenty of points for that. But I would love to hop in and ask that person who was sitting in the gas all game how they're doing that, because they were just I don't know where that person came from.
That's the type of psychopath, like you avoid people that drop port. I'm the type of person that if you're pushing into the gas to kill me, I am seriously questioning what's going on upstairs, because that is
Is everything okay at home?
Sense.
Is my first question.
It's just an interesting sort of encounter, and you just got to question it, and nothing but that. As we switch over here to Team Lost Rings and Black Crystal, who apparently fresh out of the gulag, coming back to the streets. We got a replay of her experience down in the gulag. So what happens in the gulag doesn't always stay there. So we'll see what she was up to.
We know that she made it out, so somebody died and it wasn't her.
Okay. Quick aim down sight. Slow, little passive. Wondering if there's a teammate up there that's helping out with the callouts, but staying back in the spawn. Is this the type of play when you're in the gulag and you have a marksman or the sniper? Do you sit in the back and wait, or are you the one that's sprinting forward to go find them?
I am the one sprinting forward, making as much noise as possible, because I'm not capable of doing what Black Crystal does here. She plays it patiently, and you saw at the end there, 1 shot, 1 kill. I said earlier, I can't aim. I can't aim from the head. I'm lucky if I hit your body, as we're going to see here. Boom, just like that. I'm not capable of that. My best bet is to rush you and force you to panic and make a bad decision. That's the only way I can do it. It's the only way. And what about yourself?
I like to play what she's doing. You know, she plays it slow. She plays it methodical. Peeks the angles left, right, and mid. Throws the tactical as well. And then eventually just comes out to where she needs to be. Good adjustment. Get the headshot. 1 shot, 1 kill. I kind of do. It depends on the weapon as well. If I have a crossbow, I'm not moving, because I just despise the crossbow. If I have anything else, I'm doing what you're doing, except I'm having my rifle out, and I'm going for that circa 2007 quickscope montage FaZe Clan optic gaming 360YY ladder stall, and then I die. But it would look good if the 1 in 12 times I hit it. It looks great.
There you go. Hey, it's all about the story. It's all about the story, and the story doesn't care about the 11 times it didn't work. It cares about the 1 time it did. And this is interesting right here. This is some confidence with an LMG, standing there in the wide open, kind of surrounded, but shooting every which way, surviving.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, finding yourself under that much fire, but still able to hold on and survive, virtually surrounded by teams, getting the down right there. But got to take the time to heal up. That's one of the most kind of ignored things that people don't do, in the sense of, oh, I forgot to put armor in. I just didn't remember that I had armor.
It is the name of the game, and it has to be a priority now. Like anybody, every once in a blue moon, I die. I get ran up on with no armor, and I'm sitting there with 5 shields in my satchel that are being unused. That is inexcusable. If you know nothing else about this game, if you have a shield, find the moment, put it in.
Sometimes you just get so caught up in the moment. Not that I'm speaking from experience or anything. You just get so caught up in the moment that you just forget that there's armor there, or you just didn't realize. Because I've been in a situation where it was a 2v3, the last 2 squads left alive. I killed 2 people in a gas station. I ran over their bodies. I'm like, I didn't pick up any armor. I don't have any armor left. And I was streaming it, and of course chat was like, you have 4 plates. Put your plates in. It's like, I don't have armor. I got to push. And then I ended up dying, and we lost. And I look at chat, and like, you had 4 plates. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's
Pressure.
one of those things where thankfully it happened now so that it won't happen later. Unfortunately, you were streaming, so everybody saw it. But
yeah,
at least you know it won't happen again.
Yes, yeah. Not my proudest moment, but it's a 2nd place finish, so that's, I guess, okay. Could have been a dub. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it.
And we are running here. This looks like a Scar, I believe, or a Growl. We have our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sponsors. Slightly covering up the gun there, but it's either Growl or effing Scar, it looks like. Whatever it is, this gas is a little faster than the person.
Yeah,
running.
that's hurting Crystal there. I think she's going to be okay to make it.
Getting close. She's getting close.
Got a few ticks to spare,
fine.
But that's
Woo.
not great. She could hit the loadout if she wants. There's also the buy station on here, but she is $500 short to buy back any of her teammates. The problem with this is she has to continue to run to get to the next zone. And at this point, that is the most concerning thing, in the sense of, okay, well, now I have to get there. I think at this point, UAV or the armor. You got to get the armor. You have to buy the armor.
You have to go armor. Where's she going? Where's she going?
Nothing. All right. Wait, maybe the box has $500.
Okay, you. Oh,
the
yes,
box had no money, so
Oh no.
with the gas going to be coming here as...
And you still have to run, and we know how fast that gas is.
Yeah, with the gas going to be coming, I think at this point you just call it a wash. You got to go.
She's got to cut your losses. She better get going. Unless she's looking for a vehicle. Unless she's looking for money.
Looking for something on the ground.
Oh boy, I would hate for this to end the way that it potentially might end.
I think it looks like she might be trying to consider to pick up the contract, but they have a contract active, so even if she wanted to, she couldn't.
You wouldn't be able to. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. And she decided to cut her losses and go ahead along this journey. I mean, my least favorite type of game is where you land somewhere, and for whatever reason, the video game gods are not on your side, and you have to run all the way from one side of the map to the other, because where you landed and where the circle ended up just was not on your side. But hey, it's a big map. Yep. Sometimes you just call it a road trip, and you get to explore the whole thing top to bottom.
And see, I'm the type that's hesitant. I'm not going to get in a vehicle because there's so many people with RPGs and C4. I'm not about it. I mean, granted, you have the trophy systems to be able to stop most of that, but I am just not about getting the vehicles, because it also just kind of reveals your location. And as a sniper, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't want to tell you where you're at.
I'm with you. You thrive off of not being seen. There's no easier way to be seen than have a big red vehicle coming across your map.
And I mean, we go into FaZe Clan here. As soon as we go there, blue does get dropped down. But we have some replays coming from the round so far as we come up in the last 10 minutes of round number 2. 2 members here in FaZe Clan still left alive, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, run in the vehicle. This is that just aggressive gameplay style that they're able to get away with. They can do whatever they want, and they're totally okay.
Absolutely. I mean, the confidence to pull up with an FAL from close range, single shot. Yes, the damage is good, but there's some SMGs that'll, you know, that'll light you up. But got sent off to the gulag. Let's see what he did with the crossbow.
Had the crossbow there. You see the player just sitting there in the back. Just running around, going point blank, missed that one. See, that's what I'm talking about. You should not get a hit marker with the crossbow. Blue should not be alive right now.
It makes no sense. I'm 1000% with you there.
What? Okay, and then we go into the Dukes of Hazzard here. Oh! Oh! He's clean with it.
Look at that. Look at this. I mean, look at this. People, if you want to know the difference between a good player and a pro, you're looking at it.
And then, yeah, War Z, I mean, he's just done work so far. He's made it quite the name for himself as one of the greatest Call of Duty Warzone players. Has been in countless tournaments, has won countless tournaments, played in all the Warzone Wednesdays that was on Keemstar's channel, won that 3 or 4 times, you know, back-to-back with Vicstar, who's another one of the top Warzone players. That this team, needless to say, they're pretty good, just with Blue and Wars alone.
I honestly think that a duo of
And then he just dies.
Blue and Wars competing against all other quads could make quite a bit of noise, just them two. And then you add on 2 other good players. It's the sight to see.
Yeah, it's unfortunately going to be dropping out of that one and falling short. But did get some points. Plus, I'm sure they had a handful of kills from themselves as we switch back over to Black Crystal and Team Lost Rings. She has 4 kills already. Half the squad is dead, though, but not enough money either to be able to bring him back.
And whoever Blue is parachuting in, that's right. And they are going to mad dash, look for the gun that they want. Let me ask you, you of course have a base knowledge of the general guns that are usually laying about. If you're parachuting in mid-game, loadouts on the other side of the map, what are you hoping to stumble across that can at least service you until you can get to your loadout?
I really like, I mean, I'll pick up any FAL just because I love the FAL. I always have. I've been using the FAL basically since Warzone came out. And then all of a sudden people have just discovered how good it is within the last couple of weeks. So I love the FAL for that. If I find any sniper rifle, I'll pick that up in a heartbeat. I also love the Harpy. The MP7,
I love it.
It's such a good gun, and I will drop almost any SMG. Like when I'm playing in early game, if I find a gold SMG, I'll drop it, give it to one of my friends, and pick up the Harpy instead, just because it just feels so much better to me. It seems to suit me better. So that's what I'm hoping I get with that. But I mean, I'll take at that point if I'm coming back from Gulag, I'll take literally anything I can get. Just I want to be alive. Give me one more armor plate and any weapon. I'm happy.
Just like that. Just like that. Hey, I need 1 armor plate and let me know what I can find. But I'm right there with you. I will drop, honestly, just about anything outside of a legendary LMG just to pick up a Heartbeat. It's light. I can play fast. And, man, does that do damage when you're around the corner and you got a guy right on you.
Yeah, the MP7 certainly notorious for just being able to melt people in about 0.2 seconds. You just don't have a chance.
It's unbelievable.
That's the kind of counter, as you kind of touched on a little bit earlier, with Blue just rolling up with the FAL close range. It's brave. If you get a good 4 or 5 shots off, that's going to be a full kill or a down at least with the FAL. But just you have to be able to hit those shots. You have to be reliant on your own skill to be able to make your shots connect. Otherwise, if they do have an SMG, if they have an MP7 setup or even the MP5, then you're just pretty much worse for wear and you're gonna die and you don't have a choice in the matter because they're able to put down all 30 rounds out of the clip in half a second and you miss 2 shots. Well, that's it. You're on the losing side of that encounter.
Exactly. If you are an accurate shooter, and like you said, you have to hit every single one of those 4 or 5 shots. You miss one, you are toast. No contest. So I do not trust my accuracy enough, even from close range. So it is SMGs, ARs, and LMGs for me.
So as we talked about, you're the LMG expert. What's your go-to LMG? Which one are you? Is your primary in your custom loadout?
Oh boy.
on to the next one.
Oh boy, I know it is not a fan favorite,
Good.
but I love the PKM. I love
Okay.
it.
Perfect.
I love it. I know Bruin is usually the go-to. I believe they've nerfed it a little bit. It came in quite hot, doing a little too much
It's
damage.
really strong.
It was really strong, especially if you took the stock off the back and now you're actually mobile with it. But I would say PKM if I had
Okay.
my dream situation with an LMG.
Following you.
Do you just go with the standard iron sights, or do you have a sight on it?
I go standard iron sights.
Okay.
It's a very dumb and meaningless situation. I just love its iron sights. That little trident fork they got going on.
Yeah.
It looks cool and it works for me, so I roll with it. And on the flip side, I can throw on a perk or a different attachment in place of a scope.
I think that's one of the benefits, honestly, for Warzone, in the sense that you really get to use whatever attachments that you want, and if you're able to get by just using iron sights on whatever weapon is your weapon of choice, then you get that little extra bit of anything else, whether it be mobility or range or damage or something, where you can use it on any other attachment. Granted, you're losing a little bit of the accuracy, statistically, quote unquote speaking, that you get with a sight, but if you're able to use just the iron sights and have that stock, then I feel like that's almost like half of a leg up, where you're giving yourself a slight advantage. But that's like we talked about with Warzone, there's so much viability in the variations of all the attachments that it's totally negotiable, and you can mitigate that with anything else.
Exactly. You know that we've talked about it quite a bit, but there's an unlimited and infinite number of playing styles, and it's clear that Activision had that in mind. Whatever your style is, you can suit your gun to fit yourself perfectly, and I think that's what makes this game so engaging. Is you can customize it to fit you and your
there it
team
is.
style. So perfect. And look at that right there.
You knew it was happening. You knew it was coming. As soon as you turn the corner and you see the C4 planted by the buy station, someone is there and someone is waiting. That is
Look up.
on top of the downtown snipers, downtown rooftop campers, the loadout campers, and the buy station campers. That is 1, 2, 3, just the worst experience. That just does not seem fun in any sense of playing Warzone. And I don't understand people that do it, but it works for them.
And you know, I just want to talk to those people like, hey, this game could be so much more fun for you if you weren't such an awful person and doing this every single time. I that's all I want to ask is this even fun for you, or do you just take joy in ruining everybody else's
It's
time?
like, you know, you're allowed to move around the rest of the map, right? You don't have to just go to the buy station and watch it.
It's a pretty big map. The people who decide to just sit in this little 10-meter square space for a half hour that a full game sometimes takes, more power to you, but I wish bad things upon you.
Yeah, and it's that sense. Just get out, go see the world. There's so much to see in
Go
Verdansk. I mean,
go see the world.
with the season update coming next week, they're talking about, you know, another map coming in potentially, as they're kind of teasing onto that. That's maybe you don't even have just one world to see. Maybe you can go see 2 different worlds. I don't know. Just get off the buy station.
Just whatever it takes to get you off the buy station. If it takes a spaceship, Activision throw in a spaceship to get people off the buy station. But I also saw, and like any rumor, you have to take it with a grain of salt. The hackers that be found some code for a tram/subway system, which would take this game to an entirely different level. Again, I don't want to get too excited. I've been led astray on rumors in the past, and I don't want my heart broken again. But what a little caveat that may be.
Like, with the implication of connecting the 2 maps, is
that is my guess. Yes, my guess is a new map and or subway station would go hand in hand. Which, boy oh boy, would that be a riot.
I mean, at that point, what, do you expand 350, 400 players between 2 maps?
I think at
insane.
that point, I think at that point there's only one server, and if you hop on the game, you're in the same server as the other 50 million people.
That would be insane. to have something of that scale, of that caliber. Obviously unprecedented in that sense, but of course, just a rumor. And I had not heard that one before, so that's got my gears turning. That's interesting.
Oh, like I said, I'm trying to temper excitement. There's
Right.
been many rumors, and only a handful of them have come true.
Right.
But if that came true, what a Pandora's box show.
And that's, yeah, even in the sense of where you talk about rumors, we had the submarine under the ice or the sharks or whatever, the coyotes on the wild on the other side of the dam. There's just so many different chances of rumors that people will be like, well, this is going to do something. It's going to mean something. There's a nuke. We found a nuke in Vault 11. They're going to blow up the map. Well, no, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Not quite. Not quite.
But
I know the getting the red access key card to the bunker was
Yeah.
a dream come true for many, and for a lot of people they found it frustrating. And so Activision, listening to its people, they say, we will giveth, we will taketh away, and you will like it.
And that they did. But then, there's other videos of them opening up the second vault door, and there's this unmanned turret that just mows down your whole squad without any say in the matter at all. But after the second round has come to a conclusion, we'll be able to tally up all the scores. How are you feeling so far? We've seen a lot of good gameplay from FaZe Clan, as really expected, but how do you think the rest of the field is faring?
It feels great. I mean, just we've been hopping from screen to screen, and all these teams have different strategies, but the fact that everyone looks successful, more people are alive than dead usually, which is obviously a good sign. People are moving together, people are sticking together, whether it's the FaZe Blue and Wars team, which are racking up 60 kills with ease, or it's the Neighborhoods team, which may not be having as many kills, but they're going to finish in that top 3 every single time. I could not be more excited to see these results as we go into the final round, because it is quite a toss-up right now.
Well, you talk about results, and there are results to be found, but not only in just Warzone itself. We have brought in the Gamers.Vote trivia question. We teased it at the beginning of this round with the statistics. There they are right there, top to bottom. I know we gave you time to think about it. What do you think? You got any guesses on that? I mean, that's right up your alley.
I do have a couple guesses, and I am praying I'm not incorrect, but if this player's initials are WM, then I am confident in my answer. So we will see if I'm correct here in a second.
WM, well, maybe. It is Willis McGahee himself. You did get that one correct. That is the man himself that is on top of this team right there. You see his statistics. Another phenomenal name in the NFL, and has been around the block a time or two. He's a household name. People know who that guy is.
Oh, absolutely, and what a joy it was to watch. And we are praying that we get some semblance of football this year. We know we'll get NFL, college football. It is a toss-up. We will keep fingers crossed. In the meantime, we will be enjoying all the Warzone that the world will give us.
Fingers crossed. We will be enjoying Warzone. We will have round 3, but we are going to take a short break for the conclusion of this tournament. Do not go anywhere.
The Esports Celebrity Challenge is officially sponsored by JBL. Step up your game with the Quantum 800 headset. HyperX, we're all gamers. Lucid Sound, engineered to win. And MetaThreads, your lifestyle gaming apparel partner.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the NFL Alumni and ESTV's Esports Celebrity Challenge. My name is Trevor McNeil. Alongside me is Brock Vereen. We are getting ready for round number 3 of this Warzone tournament. And Brock, we've had a lot of exciting action so far. What do you think? Round 3 can be just as good?
Of course, it has really flown by, pun intended, as we're watching a plane fly over here as our competitors about to jump right back in. But it has only gotten better, right? That first round, yeah, maybe you played with your team yesterday to get some kings out, maybe this morning, but as the game goes on, it only gets better. Now, what's interesting is the back half of that final round is usually when you see that fatigue set in. Yes, you're not actually running around a giant map with a physical gun, but that mental fatigue is a thing. This is where you set yourself apart, and this is why I have so much confidence in a team like FaZe Blue and Wars' team. They've been here before. They've played in 12-hour tournaments for all we know. So it's teams like the the neighborhood team, dark horses, this is where they need to shine. This is what's going to set themselves apart. The fatigue is a real thing. Let's see how it works out for them.
Absolutely, and you mentioned with the neighborhood team, that's exactly where we're going to start out with round number 3's action, is spectating on the neighborhood themselves. Looks like they were dropping Superstore as well, so be interesting for them to see if they're going to be able to step up and be able to capitalize on the situation where there are a lot of people that are going to be there, a high traffic, high volume area, or if they're just going to not quite be able to rise to the occasion.
Time will tell. Time will tell, and Jeremy Friedman, their leader over there, definitely doing his share, carrying the brunt of the work, and they do have a win under their belt. We do not have the score sheet right in front of us at the moment, but this is the only team that we saw start to finish their win, and they looked good. When they're playing at their best, they're up there with anybody.
Absolutely, and this is, it seems like they have a strategy down pat. Like, they go Superstore, they stick together, and you see them sweeping from rooftop. They drop down, go through the back door, and then they just start to work their way across the rest of the store. Someone will find a heartbeat sensor and try to ping out where anyone else is, but they're just moving methodically and tactically through this building to make sure everything's good. As soon as you see someone run by the front door right there, he's going to be able to call battle for his teammates who are over there on that side of the building saying, hey, someone's coming your way. And at that point, you can come in with the flank, or you just sit here and really just take control of this entire store by yourself.
Absolutely. There's no better feeling than hitting that groove, and there they go right there, and hitting that groove with your team. We know where to drop. We know what the plan is. I'm going this way. You go that way. You get that whole way. Then we're going to meet back in the center. And clearly the team neighborhood is at that perfect synergy right now, because it's second nature for them now, and the results show that.
Obviously, with that plan, do they go from here? And just like we saw in the last round, it seems like it was a carbon copy. We thought we were watching a replay because they go here, then they go north towards airport, and it's like, wait, is this the same thing? Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They got a victory out of it earlier, right. So why not keep doing the same thing?
Exactly. And the name of the game is winning. We keep saying it. There's a million strategies. They won.
Yeah.
So their strategy works. There's a lot of people who are running with the same strategy that they don't realize yet it doesn't work. This one works.
And that's also to the point of, we talked about at the very beginning of the show, with the fact that you have players that are, the FaZe Clan, that are Lost Rings, that is an esports organization, or, with Shane Vereen bringing in his ringer, or Kevin Ware with his professional Call of Duty player on his roster. There are these teams that come in and, okay, they're so talented, just raw Call of Duty talent. You can't just go for placement. You can't just sit in a bush, follow the circle the entire time. You have to be able to pick up at least 10 to 15 kills per round if you really want to be in contestation for that number 1 slot.
Without question. And that there's a lot of people who, it's not going to guarantee you a win, but it can guarantee you a top 8 finish if you just get ghost and hide off of radars and just find a building close to the center and just sit there and hide. That's not going to work here, because there are so many ways to get points here. You can get your finish and you have to get kills. So that kind of forces you. It's not gonna tilt your strategy, but it's gonna at least force you to go out there and not just camp all day, which upsets a lot of people, myself included.
And it comes to the point of, maybe that's outside of your comfort zone as well, where you enter into a tournament that is a kill race. And, well, we're not really used to being the hyper-aggressive FaZe Blue type where you'll just roll up to a store solo 1v4 and kill everybody. You're not used to that. You're used to having your whole team with you and kind of going a little bit slower pace to go through these firefights. And obviously with FaZe Clan and Blue having the experience he does, as well as Wars, they know that ain't going to work. You have to be able to be the one that is aggressive, to just get in a vehicle, run around the entire map as fast as you can, and get as many kills as you possibly can, especially in the sense of FaZe Blue, where he's streaming, going for world records, which just goes right into kill races, because you get a lot of kills for a world record, then you already know exactly what you got to do for the meta to be able to succeed very well in this format of a tournament.
Absolutely. And to then have 3 other teammates who are close or just below your level of play, My goodness, I mean the odds were stacked against the rest of these teams, but the neighborhood led by Jeremy Friedman, they are holding their own weight as far as exceeding expectations so far. I can easily hand that to Team Neighborhood. They have looked fantastic. Also because I had the highest expectations in the world for Blue.
To the point of, it's surprising to see not only just how well this team has done, but just the consistency that they have put out, right? That they are always all together. They're really never at any disadvantage firefight. I mean, they're always in a position where they're smart about it. They're using cover well. They're always played it up. They don't ever put themselves in a position where they are not favored to at least break even or win out of the firefight at all. And that's just really good to see from a team perspective, that you're able to play that well consistently, because there's a lot of times in a tournament or in a game like this, there's just the wild card, the question mark of, someone is running off and doing their own thing. Something is not going to work. One weak link in the armor, and that's it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All 4 people have to be on the same page. No different than if you got 10 guys gelling on a football field, but one guy isn't paying attention, you'll give up a touchdown that play 10 times out of 10, and it's the same thing. You got 4 guys going this way, one guy goes that way, he dies or he gets down. Now one of your 3 have to go over and help them. Now the whole strategy and the whole team is just turned to dust just like that. Communication is key. Everybody being on the same page is key. And the neighborhood is under fire quite a bit right now. Jeremy, definitely not happy with his performance there. Oh, no, I thought he was shaming himself. He was actually just grabbing quick something to drink. He's off to the gulag, going to fight his way out.
And that's just the unlucky circumstances where someone runs up the stairs, especially with the PP-19, 64 rounds in that SMG, running up the stairs. The person responsible for watching the stairs gets lasered down while Jeremy's looking out the window trying to lay down fire on the other side of fire station so that someone can potentially finish off the kill on that side. The man that's supposed to be protecting you goes down, and we all know how frustrating that is. Like, you're supposed to be having my back. You're supposed to be watching. What? Come on, man.
What happened? You had one job. You had one job. Find somebody coming in through this door and let me know when they do. Not only did you die, you didn't even tell me that they came through the door.
And with that one,
look at that.
Easy does it right there.
Little shimmy there by Jeremy. Nice little celebration pointing out to the crowd. I love it. I love it. There's you better feelings than getting a stylish kill such as that and knowing a bunch of people will watch it.
Now, in this sense, talking about coming back from the gulag, we've mentioned a little bit, what are you hoping to find or whatever. When you do get a drop like this, where your loadout is directly beneath you, are you the type that's going to drop straight onto it and just not even worry about anything else? Or are you going to be one that kind of drops off to the side, scout it out, and then go to it?
I'm going right for it. Okay. I know that that's not always the smart move, but my philosophy is I'm going to get to it at some point. Even if I drop somewhere else, I'm going to eventually get there before we move on from this area as the circle starts to close. My philosophy is this: the sooner I can get there, the sooner I can get some money, the sooner I can get more of my boys back. What about yourself?
I guess it also depends on where my teammates are, right? So if I have teammates alive, then I'm going to ask them, okay, is it safe? Can I come down here to land? Or do I have to, wait, or should I just float for a while? But on the opposite side, I'm just ready to go down. I want my loadout, and as everyone should, you should have a loadout, probably with fully loaded, coming back from the gulag. So as soon as you get that loadout, you have all of the ammo you need, and you don't have to worry about just firing one clip and then being absolutely worthless again.
That is an important part, and to specify, that is my loadout strategy for if I'm the only one going back. If all 3 guys are dead, I got to get guys back, and it's just me flying out of the air with a pistol. I'm going for the loadout no matter what. You put it out perfectly. If I have guys with me, okay, let's play it patient. I'm fine running around with a pistol as long as my guys got something substantial, and then we'll get to the loadout eventually.
And this is one of the benefits that they was added into Call of Duty, and I really like these special events. Obviously, they don't happen every single game, and I think this is the first one that we have seen happen with this fire sale, but just decreasing the amount for everything except for the loadout. Buybacks are free, self-revives are free, UAVs are $800 a pop. That's as good as it gets.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And in the situation where the thorn in everybody's side, the campers, it forces them out, because I don't care how long you camp. You want a UAV, you want to bring your buddy back, and the absolute carnage that ensues when you got 5 teams rushing the same buy station. May the best man win.
Sometimes it just comes down to, okay, who's got the rockets, or who's in the position that's just ready for it. The last one to get there. I'm
not a rocket guy, but it is a great feeling. The rare time I am holding a rocket and you see 3 teams rushing for the same buy station, you say, okay, here comes 6 or 7 downs right now.
I mean, I really don't like rockets at all. I hate using them, but there's just the simple satisfaction of coming back from the gulag, because I did it yesterday. I came back from the gulag. The first thing I found was an RPG and a gift from the heavens. 3 people on an ATV running by. I'm like, well, all 3 of you are dead now. Thank you. It doesn't get any. They're just so happy.
Look at this FAL usage. I mean, the quickness with the trigger. It's something to watch. Where do you stand on shotguns? Because personally, I want them taken out of the game because they just take up space, and they upset me when I open a loot box and I get the dun dun dun, meaning I'm getting something special, only to find out it's a special shotgun.
Yeah, there was a time, a very, albeit very brief time, where the Dragon's Breath shotgun, or just the flaming rounds in general, was really strong, because you get a 2-tap, they're on fire, and then they're going to go down, because all of a sudden they're terrified. Their whole health is gone, and now they're on fire. And in the same sense of you be hyper-aggressive and you're panicking. But other than that, shotguns have been virtually worthless in Warzone. Granted, the 725 had so much success in multiplayer, and people were infuriated by the existence of it. But I just really am underwhelmed by what shotguns are capable of in Warzone, because you never ever get into a circumstance where you're going to have an up close and personal fight where a shotgun is going to be your go-to choice. Most people are going to have an SMG, or they're just going to throw C4, and that's going to be enough for your close quarter combat, and you don't need a shotgun at all. So something's got to change.
Absolutely. And of course there's going to be shotguns in the game. It is something that exists in the real world, therefore Call of Duty is going to put it in the game.
Right.
But the abundance of them is sometimes overwhelming, considering I've yet to meet somebody who regularly runs with a shotgun. The same way my buddy is no longer my buddy because he likes to drop at port. If I had a buddy who only ran with shotguns, he would also fall by the wayside of my life.
And even in the sense, you talk about the abundance of them, the VLK Rogue shotgun that has the slug rounds, it's a shotgun that's like a 34-shot kill. You have to reload 12 times before you can get any damage off. It just does not comprehend in my brain as to why that it is the way it is, and they are everywhere.
They might be the most popular gun in the game as far as how many are on the map when you first start. It's mind-blowing, and I don't think it's crazy to say I don't even pick them up. I've run with my pistol before I pick that up.
I am much more comfortable with the pistol than I am with any shotgun I find on the ground.
Without question.
I don't understand it, but switching over here to Black Crystal and Team Lost Rings. Coming up here on Top 20 Squads Left Alive has found a few players over here in IHOP, but using that night vision thermal again. And that's an interesting, I mean, that gun itself is interesting. It works fairly well, but when you get to the point where players start to get their loadouts and they start to have cold-blooded, that night vision is a lot more difficult to defend.
And I just want to point out how hilarious it is. We have never discussed this before, but me and my buddies call it IHOP as well. And I think it is so funny that everybody refers to that building as IHOP. No matter what part of the world you grow up in, you say, hey, we're going to push IHOP. Hey, they're landing on IHOP. And everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
And that's honestly one of my favorite things just about games as they progress in, esports and with people playing them, is that they just get these widely accepted call outs. Like, in Counter-Strike, okay, I'm smoking banana. Everyone that's played Counter-Strike knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it just sounds like it doesn't make sense, but they know exactly what part of the map I'm referring to when I say, yeah, banana. Okay.
And you know what? Those are the moments that if a significant other or a family member who doesn't play is in the room and they just look, you get so locked in, you're yelling out, smoking banana or let's go to IHOP. And those are the moments where they look at you and they're like, what do you spend your time doing? It's like, if I explain this to you, it would only be worse. So I'm not going to say anything.
And it's funny that literally every other call out basically is just a color. Like every other building is red, blue, mint, teal, green. Otherwise, you have a store, gas station, hospital, maybe. But other than that, it's either a color or just some generic definition of whatever the point of interest is.
Without question.
And we all agree on it.
What's the color of the building? And are they on the ground floor? Are they on the second floor? Or are they on the roof? That's all the information you need sometimes.
And then you get to a position like where we find a neighborhood where this tree, that rock, this rock, ping. And that's it. Because that's all you can get away with. There are no call-outs here in the wilderness.
Ping, ping, ping. And you know what? I struggle big time with the snow mountains. For whatever reason, once you get north, started heading toward military base area just past airport, I struggle big time. If I were to keep track of the countless times I've died, I tell you what, the majority of them come when I get to the snow. Military base is not my friend.
Everyone just loves military base as well. I mean, there's so much loot there, understandably so. There's a lot to go through, a lot to sift through, but it's just so out there. I mean, your only other option then is to really go, south to Lumber or go towards airport. Or maybe Dam, but beyond that, it's a lot of just open fields, open area like this with minimal cover. I mean, rocks and trees, and that's about it. And if zone finishes up here, it's a real rough time for people that aren't locked up in a building.
Absolutely. And if you don't know the area, which very few people do, it takes a specific kind of person to routinely drop in military base. And their advantage then is that 1 in 10 times when the circle closes up there, they're at a great advantage because nobody really has the layout memorized of military base. But on the flip side is the other half of the times, way more than half the times, where it drops south of the map. If you don't get a helicopter or a vehicle, you're automatically dead. That gas is going to get you. I don't care how fast you can run. And one of my favorite things is a buddy who, if he gets a set of rockets early, will go to military base, blow up every vehicle, and then come right back just to be petty. And I love him for it.
That's the thing that I do enjoy, because obviously helicopters are a very valuable resource in this for that mobility to go from A to B to C. Maybe you're hunting down most wanteds, maybe you're picking up contracts, or you want to fly around and play flight simulator. I don't know. But I love just going to an area where there is a helicopter spawning. I've got no interest in flying it. I don't really care. But I'm going to find a C4. I'm putting it in a helicopter, and I'm going to sit there and wait, because someone's going to take it eventually.
Someone's going to come to it. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And there are a few better feelings than knowing I just ruined this team's entire strategy because I just whipped their vehicle that I had no interest in even using. It's like being the kid at the basketball court, and because nobody picked you, you're going to take your basketball and go home, and now nobody can play.
Yep, because you're the only one that brought the ball. Like, well, maybe you should have thought of that when you drafted. I don't know.
I don't want this thing, but you don't get to use it either.
I'm kind of impressed with the accuracy that Jeremy's having with this LMG, honestly.
Very accurate. Very accurate, especially from that much range. You know, the LMG, not the steadiest recoils, but he is doing work from range. It's incredibly impressive.
And this is giving me flashbacks to yesterday because I was in a duos game in this exact position, and both of us got sniped from police station right down there. And it's frustrating because this is another one of those locations on the map that is very popular to pass through. Typically, there's a buy station on those two statues right ahead of them. At the same time as people coming out of military, you got the buildings up and to the left as well. Police station down there where there's an ammo cache, and people love hanging out in police stations in general. So this is just an area where there's also really not a lot of cover up here on top. And you see loadouts right in front of them that aren't theirs. There's 2 more loadouts over there by military base. This is always an interesting area that you will more than likely run into people.
Absolutely. And it's interesting how there are certain pockets on this map where hey, we're going to pass through this area, and you tell everybody, hey, team check, make sure everything's reloaded, make sure your armor is in, because there will be at least 4 teams in this area, and if we're going to get out of here, we're going to have to fight at least one of them. And it's interesting how naturally people just gravitate toward maybe the same 4 or 5 areas at some point in the map.
And I like, what they're doing. They're doing exactly what you say, with the team check. Okay, everyone reload everything, make sure you play it up. They buy everything that they need to from the buy station. Someone gets a munitions box, so they're all fully loaded on ammo now. And they're set very well. Once again, like we talk about the consistency of the neighborhood in this team, that they just all stick together. They're all holding each other accountable. They're all setting each other up for as high levels of success as they can all reach. And they're doing it almost every single game. They find themselves in this position where they're in the late game scenario now, and they're getting placement points, and they're set up to come home with the Warzone victory.
Of the amount of time we've spent watching specifically Jeremy's screen, all 4 people have been alive, 95% of the time?
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most impressive things that we've seen here, and oh boy, are they in luck. They are dead center of that circle. They get to play gatekeeper. They have a buy station in their backhand. They have 4 guys alive, all the ammo in the world, and self-revives. They are looking really, really good right now.
You see that red dot on the UAV kind of spooking them a little bit, but with the live ping coming in, someone that is dropping down from the gulag, and they very briefly appeared on the corner of the screen, but looking to drop back in. But like you said, they are right where they want to be. They're on the edge of the next zone as well, so they can really hold everyone that is over towards the military base side. They don't have to worry about anything really from there because they have that wall at least. And as long as everyone pretty much is looking in one direction, they've got all 360 degrees covered here, and they're just bouncing back and forth. And I can only imagine just the level of communication that this team has because of just how well together it seems that they're working.
Movement. And also, they're at the final buy station that usually pops up in the second and last circle. And if you're going to get a buddy back, this is your last chance, so don't be shocked if a couple guys make a final frontier push to that buy station, which they are, again, protecting.
Now here is the problem with this area, though. There's no cover virtually at all. The cluster strike coming in. They've already lost 1 teammate here. The rest of the team, though, does have self-revive. They at least can run far enough back that the cluster strike will expire, and then they can move back forward to their previous position. But now they are going to have to at least advance forward here, and they're going to be on the receiving side of the gatekeepers.
Yes, they are. How the tables turn. And now we have 3 guys left. Coming down to the final round here, or final circle, I should say. Oh, yeah, I guess it is the final round, too. Final round, final circle. And plenty of ammo to go around. It looks like, the movement is what impresses me the most. Nobody pops up out of nowhere around these guys because they are just so quick, checking every corner, every direction. It looks like they're going to work the gas, meaning for those of you who don't play the game, it means you're going to ride the gas all the way, and you're going to be the last one to the party, hoping that on the way, anyone hiding will reveal themselves to you.
And I really like this angle that they've gone for. So they get the kill on the player that was trying to flank them. Call out coming in. Jeremy able to help his teammate out to secure that one. Gets plated back up. Ultimately, that player does go right back down again, though, unfortunately, because someone else is on the other side of the flank. When that's just a solo, but he's going to get the team kill. There's another one on the other side, though. Unfortunately, he thought he cleared the area, but they just couldn't do it. Now it's going to be 1 down. He's going to self and try to finish his player off before he can, but he's got to switch his weapons. That's the downside of the LMG.
And that is the downside.
It takes so long to switch weapons.
It does. And if you don't have amped on, good luck when those circles get nice and tight. You know, it's a double-edged sword. You get down to the final circle, maybe 4 or 5 teams left, 10 to 12 guys. You want to have an LMG because everyone's gonna have to reload, and you won't, and you can just spray. Especially then, you really don't have to finish people off. You just have to down them.
Right.
But on the flip side of it, when you do have to switch weapons, when you do have to reload, you're going to take 3 times the amount of time that everyone else is. And if you don't have amped, which is a perk for those listening, that allows you to switch weapons faster, you are toast.
Yeah, and that's just an unfortunate circumstance, especially when, like I was talking about, I really like that rotation they were making from, top hillside. They were keeping the rocks for cover between them and the other team that they knew where they were. But there's 2 people, unfortunately, solo players that are behind them that you were talking about. You're trying to ride the gas and make sure that you're not going to get flanked from any other direction. And somehow those 2 rats, as a lot of players will call them, just somehow snuck by and ended up eliminating the rest of Team Neighborhood. So an unfortunate position for them to be in, to finish in 4th as well, where they were 1 position out of getting another 2 points for placement.
FaZe Blue back in action, tried to save his buddy, but although he did not save his buddy, he killed the person who killed him. So revenge is sweet, as they say.
And FaZe Blue has done a lot of work to get to this point. We have a little bit of video footage to reveal just how good FaZe Blue, and we know how good FaZe Blue is. We could take a look to see what's got him to this point so far as he continues just to destroy. This FAL is absolutely insane that he's using.
He's inspiring me to get back on the FAL, honestly. I won't be able to do anything like that, but I can lie to myself and stay at my close.
And this is just being able to drop with your teammate right there. Wars and Blue both just kind of taking control of Superstore. I mean, this is a stock FAL too. That's not even having his own custom one, and that's just how much raw power the FAL has. If you can hit your shots, it's insanely good.
And you know what the FAL and Grau have in common is incredible accuracy and his ability to find the headshot no matter... I mean, look at this right now. If you have the ability to seek out the head of the player, which he can obviously do with low recoil weapons and a quick trigger finger, I mean, he is borderline unstoppable. And then you give him an SKS in the gulag, that's his wheelhouse. It's perfect for him.
Virtually the exact same. That team is insane.
17 kills, 9 kills, 16. Oh my goodness. It is just...
what I would give to have my squad putting those numbers up.
Oh, I wish. And I know some of them are listening right now. Come on, guys. Why can't you be this good, huh?
All I ask, hit your shots. Just do a little bit better. Please.
Oh, man. And here he is almost getting shot out of the air. And once again, you wonder, well, how is this going to turn out for him? Well, probably. It's probably going to turn out well for him because I don't see many situations where things don't turn out well for him.
So he's got a sniper rifle he picked up from somebody. And it's just trying to peek this one, but, I mean, doesn't have any armor, sitting right next to his loadout. Unfortunately, could not get around the corner quick enough. So he's going to get dropped one more time. But he's got teammates at least close enough, but unfortunately, the gas is coming. And I don't think he's going to be able to make that. There's a gas mask sitting right next to him. He didn't pick it up, so...
if only you could pick it up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the benefit for them as he's going to drop. The best part about this is they're split up 2 by 2, as you would expect. The other 2 are still kicking. They're on the other side of the circle, and they're fine.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's the beauty of being able to have the confidence to split up like that, because now on the flip side, these guys can buy you right back.
Yep, they got almost $7,000, which is enough for 1 and an armor stack. Help you out a little bit on your way back down here. Obviously, all of your weapons now being lost into the gas. So that's going to have to be something else that you deal with at the point of trying to come back here. But that accuracy is just... and that's one of the things that you see at the higher level of gameplay, just how well these players can control their fire and just keep it linear so that you don't have that insane spray or that insane recoil and just tear through people's armor and get kill after kill after kill.
I mean, I've been playing this game for some months now, and I have yet to master that, even with the guns I'm most comfortable with. How that subtle nudge of that right joystick to keep that gun perfectly still what a difference it makes if you are as good as these guys and have mastered it.
So you see Blue coming back in once again, already under fire. Just a quick little one tap.
Can't catch a break.
Going down over here towards Doom. Fortunately, the benefit of spectating on your teammate that just got a kill. Well, now you get all of that loot from that teammate.
He made sure to get a gas mask this time.
Yeah. Gas not moving too quick, so he's going to be safe to get back in his zone. I see 25 minutes in, some change here left in the final round of this event. And, I mean, this is exactly, honestly, what we would expect out of this. Teammate being a good teammate there to bring back, give him some armor plates, let him get fully plated up here.
Teamwork is the name of the game. Can't tell you how many times you play with guys and hey, I'm out of armor. Who has armor? And then nobody says anything, and then you die, and you watch your buddy who has an armor satchel and 6 armor plates sitting there. Like, teamwork is the name of the game. I understand you want to get all the kills. I understand you want to think long term. The thing about this game is all you can focus on is right now. You don't know what team's coming around that corner. You don't know what ATV is going to pull up on you in a second. If there is any chance to have your guys fully ammoed out and fully armored up, always take it.
And it's even more frustrating in the sense of you spectate to your teammate that has the satchel, that has almost max plates, and they also have an armor box, another addition that they added to the game that you can just throw down the armor box and everyone gets full plates from that. And that's like, what? Please tell me these resources you have. Like, I want to know. I want to share the spoils of victory.
I mean, it's like being stranded in the desert with your buddy, and then in your last breaths, you find out he has 5 granola bars in his back pocket. Like, this would have been helpful information when I was starving a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you're trapped in a desert and you're getting granola bars, I feel like that's going to dehydrate you even more.
Yeah,
it's just going to make you even more thirsty.
Maybe you should keep those granola bars.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just have some sand for a snack. I don't know.
I'll eat some of this sand right here. And FaZe Blue and company just accomplished the scariest thing, which is crossing that wash. That wash runs all the way north of the map, all the way south, and there's a few scarier things than crossing that wash at the wrong time when a team happens to be looking out, because if you're looking for cover, there is none.
And that's just the weirdest time, that you get across that safely, you're totally fine, get to a point where you find cover, and then you just get melted. Well,
and you get melted. But look at those kills to go along with it. My goodness, they're approaching
pushing 50
already
at this point. Yeah, going up on 60. It's insane what these players are capable of doing.
Doesn't even make sense. Again, it goes back to the point. I'll never be able to do this, but god dang it, I'm gonna try.
Gotta go put the hours in. Go start taking off the wrist weights. My training. Yeah, that's my excuse. Lag, wrist weights. Yeah, something.
And they are down to the final member of their team. But if you know nothing about this team, you should know this is their comfort zone. There's no panic in this team. And if anybody is capable of bringing everybody back at a moment's notice.
This is another very risky position where he is in now here, because there's no cover. You've seen a couple red dots pop up here towards port. You would always expect at some point there's at least one player up there in one of those cranes. He's going to be pushing here. Find one player waiting on the other side of the rails. Is able to get that down at least to survive that, but that's his last armor plate here. And that is risky to try to push at to pick up his armor plates. I know it's tempting, but his team, that player he just killed, has now made the call out to his team as to where this solo is. So it's
and you know, that's the biggest mistake people make, is whether you're pushing a guy to pick up all of the stuff that he just dropped now that you killed him. But when you kill somebody, and it is not a team wipe, you have to move. Too many people I see kill somebody and then duck behind a corner or reclose the door thinking that they're safe. No, that person just told whoever's left on their team exactly where you are. And what you see with guys like FaZe Blue, they kill people and they move. They kill people and they move. You cannot be exactly where you were when you killed this guy because you got 3 people coming to that exact spot.
What a stroke of luck just running through that warehouse door and finding another 3 plates sitting on the ground, plus a little bit of ammo to boot. He got $1,000 and some change from the player that he did kill. Pick up another 500. It's the cash laying around here, but trying to obviously get back enough. Ping station, the buy station is pinged so that he can buy someone back. He's going to get one, and this is the point, roll the dice. Who's my favorite friend?
There you go. Who got me the best birthday present at my last party? You know, that's who it comes down to. And you know, they had the supply run ping there for a second. I ended up not needing it, but it is interesting that, you know, the supply run is seen. Oh, it is still pinged. It is seen as something that, hey, we're gonna land right away, do a run and get stuff. I found it more productive toward the end of the game. It's like, hey, I don't want to pick up a most wanted in a small circle. I'm gonna do a supply run and get my boys back. I only got $6,000, but I can get all of you back with a supply run.
It just, what a weird turn of events where you see Seb right there buy back Wars, who drops Prison, who then buys back Doom, and in sequence, Seb goes down, Wars goes down, now Doom's back. And next circle has made itself apparent. There's a loadout in the middle of an intersection of 5 roads.
Oh,
that is
boy.
brave.
Oh boy, and no hesitation whatsoever. You gotta
and at that point, you can't.
No hesitation.
Oh, there's a Claymore.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw that at least. I like that Claymore play though.
If it was me, that would have ended a lot differently. Let me tell you.
I'm the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm the player that put that Claymore down 20 minutes ago and ran off in the other direction. I love doing that. There's something just so satisfying, and I will 100% of the time, if I find a Claymore somewhere, I will pick it up, immediately put it down, and pick up the other lethal that I already had, just because I know that, well, there's a decent chance someone's going to run by it. And when I put a Claymore down in airport, and it's been 15 minutes, and now I'm downtown, and I just get a random armor broken image popped up on my screen, I know exactly where it was, and I remember, and it's just funny. I love it.
It is the greatest feeling in the world, knowing, yeah, I didn't kill this person, but they have to go through 2 plates now just because of something I did 10 minutes ago. That's how I am with proximity mines. I'll never carry them with me, but I'll switch it out for one just to toss it out a window because, like you said, no greater feeling. 13 minutes later, boom, a car just blew up. Oh, I forgot about that.
And I like what's going on here as well. He's watching these players self-revive and then downing them again so that they're going to die to the small damage, so they don't have another self-revive.
That's the definition of frustration.
Oh, well, yikes. I like the play because now he gets 2 kills for himself, but immediately jumping out the window. Didn't have any plates right there. He got dropped himself. But that's smart. That's in a kill race tournament. That is the smart thing to do because now you get credit for those as well.
Hey, Trevor, let me know if you've heard this before. I'm watching the neighborhood screen, and all 4 guys are alive.
No, I don't think no. That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound familiar at all. All 4 guys perfectly alive, moving in unison, great communication.
No, all of them pretty close to the airport here. Yeah, I don't think so. It doesn't sound like their MO.
I tell you what, I have not had the pleasure of meeting Jeremy Friedman. If I ever go to a concert, if we ever cross paths, I'm just going to talk about the airport because clearly it's his favorite place.
I guess so. I would go store to airport, and they're good. And then they just follow the circle from there, and it works.
They follow the circle. I mean, it is unbelievable. Like you said earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And you know, they're aware of the ticking clock just as we are. This ticking clock isn't on their screen, but they know when it's going to run out. And right now you're thinking, if this isn't our last game, we'll only have 1 more. And right now it is, you have to wonder, is it a change of mindset of, okay, we're not sure what the leaderboard is, but maybe that person who we normally wouldn't push, this is our last chance to get as many points as possible. Let's go push. You have to wonder if strategies change now that 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially based off of what we just finished watching them do, where they got to the point where they were in the last zone, they were in a top 5 situation. Unfortunately, just were not all exactly on the same page, which is out of character for this squad. And now they're on this redemption arc. We're like, okay, this is it. This is the game. We buckle down. We just go back to the roots. We'll go back to the foundation and start over. And it's going to work again because it always does. It always works for us, so there's no reason that we need to do anything differently. Just when we get to that point of the late game, here's what went wrong, here's what we need to change, minor little tweaks to the game plan, and then they'll find success, which I completely expect them to do.
Absolutely, and what Jeremy here is doing now is a guy who knows what he's doing. Every weapon can be a single shot rifle, and what he's doing now is, hey, I don't need to blow just because I have 150 bullets in the tuck. I don't need to spray this whole thing up. I'm doing small controlled bursts because from a distance I need to be accurate. It's very tough to be accurate from this far away, and a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people think, oh, this is an automatic weapon, I'm just gonna spray anytime I shoot. Not him. He's smart. Signs of a veteran right there.
And also just being the nuisance because you are now taking away the resources of that other team. Even just one bullet into the armor plate now requires a full plate to be used to repair the damage that was done at that point. So yeah, eventually they're going to run out of armor. They don't have a bottomless armor supply. Then on the other side, his teammates, picking up a most wanted contract and getting the kill onto that player. Plus, they have a bounty just south of them in the superstore. And this whole time, he's just been doing these little burst fire pop shots just to be a nuisance. And now they're moving on. They have enough money to buy back their teammate, to get a loadout if they want. They could buy a couple UAVs. They're pretty well set right now to be in a position where they can take control of this.
And a great sense of confidence here is their team member Mason. It looks like he has enough money. He hopped in a car. He went straight to a buy station and brought their fourth member back. That is the confidence that we saw early with FaZe Blue. Now we see it in the neighborhoods. Like, hey, you guys are in a great situation. We all don't need to go. I'm going to run to this buy station, and you're going to trust me to buy our guy and get back safely.
And as soon as he does, they get to the position where all 4 members back alive, going to get a couple weapons, help them out a little bit. Helicopter here for the pickup. And, they are sitting comfortable wherever they need to go. And they can really just do what they do best and follow the zone here, especially with this much money. They can buy everything they need, plus another $9,000. Everyone can stack up to get a UAV, to get their self-revives, and they're sitting pretty.
You gotta love that. If you got money, you got ammo, you got shields, it's a great feeling.
And this is something that we haven't yet seen from this team, in the sense of them being so potentially aggressive with this helicopter available that they can now eliminate the travel time that they needed to go follow the circle, and they can use the helicopter then to go from one direction to the other. But at this point, it looks like he's just going to go park it and wait as they're all looting through the hangars.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah, that appears to be the plan. It is kind of shocking that, there's no way to hide a vehicle from the map of everybody. There must not be anyone else in the area because that helicopter's been glowing red for a good 5 minutes now, and they are out in the open. No. So either word has gotten out that the neighborhood is not to be messed with, or somebody called in an airstrike and they got the message to get out of there.
And that's honestly like one of my favorite experiences, just witnessing that, in the sense of as soon as it pops up, airstrike incoming. He's in the helicopter. Jeremy jumps in the helicopter. The other 2 just scatter, and it's just absolute chaos. Able to get one down up there on top of the hangar. They lost a lot of armor plates in the process, but they've all survived this incursion. They survived the airstrike. Obviously, a couple more pop shots coming from that direction, but ultimately coming out on top from that because they get all their loadouts, they get everything that they want, and they continue to just go on their merry way.
The fact that all 4 of these guys are still alive is a miracle on itself. I mean, It's unbelievable how they just refuse to die. But now that I've said that, I may have jinxed them.
Players.
Good
Well,
old Flares has their back there, I believe. And if they get another missile lock, it is time to jump ship.
and two of them, well, there is the missile locking right there. Now, yeah, now it's time to go. Two of them jump ship the first time around, and I respect that because, albeit you're on the same team, you're all relatively on the same page. They've all done very well to do so this far. As soon as I see missile locking, I don't have that much faith in my pilot. I'm like, I'm out. I'm out, dog.
You know, exactly. And you don't know if that flare has already been spent. You don't know if the guy flying it is smart enough to use it. Better to be safe than sorry. Hey, if I jump out too early, you guys can always come pick me up later.
He's on the bus over there.
So, once again, though, all of them surviving. They lost their mode of transportation here. This team being a nuisance to blow up that helicopter, take a few shots at them. But on the other side of it, that team is now taking control of that buy station, so they're really not worried about it. They could theoretically buy back the player that Jeremy did get the kill on top of Hangar, which then could come down, ping where everyone's at. You see him running across the open right there. Another one of the huge dangers of just being in this vicinity is that there's just no cover on that tarmac whatsoever. But the fact they took control of that buy station, they're able to get the precision airstrike. But Jeremy now finds himself under a third-party scenario, looks like, where he's getting shot in the back.
I mean, somebody desperately wants him dead. That's what the third airstrike that we've seen in the last 3 minutes. Somebody is out to get the neighborhood. I tell you what.
Well, player's trying to peek the door. His teammate is down right there. He did get a lot of damage onto the armor. Gonna see if he can get a revive off or have someone at least hold the angle, saying, don't let him push me. Munitions box going down as well. I like that.
That is huge communication as well. Is, hey, I'm going to revive our guy. You guys let me know if somebody pushes me. I need 7. I believe it takes 5 seconds, something like that. So I need about 7 seconds to run over there, revive, and turn around and get my gun back up. Those are the precious moments that make or break a game.
The problem with a lot of these players right now is the fact that they don't have any armor. There's 3 plates between all 4 players, and they find themselves between a rock and a hard place where there's a team seemingly coming from the side where they were on these 2 buildings, and the team in the hangars, who hopefully have run out of money and no longer have 4 precision airstrikes.
I don't know. There must be a perk I'm unaware of unlimited airstrikes, because I've seen about 3 or 4 of them now, and if I'm sick of it, I'm sure Jeremy's sick of it.
Well, they have less than 10 minutes here in this final round, but still, consistently, all 4 of them still alive. They have enough to get a couple of these armor boxes, armor plate bundles from the buy station. There is one on the parking garage right here, so I expect them to go up there and hit that, if not loot the rest of the parking garage to see if they can find any more just laying around. But you see all of them are just glued at the hip.
Absolutely. And it's so difficult to take out a team that moves. I mean, look at this right here. Throw some smoke, get your stuff. And it's so difficult to take out a team that works well, or sorry, that stays in such close proximity to each other all the time, because you're around a corner, you see one guy, you start shooting him, another guy pops up. For a lot of guys, it is instinct not to finish off the guy you're shooting, but to then turn to that new guy and shoot him. And then another guy pops up. You turn to that guy and shoot him, and before you know it, you haven't downed any of them, and all 3 of them are now shooting at you.
And this is just the selfless team cohesion that we've talked about. Granted, I want to get all the kills, you want to get all the kills or whatever, but they buy 1 armor plate bundle and everyone gets fully armored back up because of what they found, and then they were able to share everything. You saw Jeremy put his 3 plates in and then drop the rest and let his teammates take those. So that is just kind of setting this entire team up for success with the munitions box, with the sharing of the armor bundles. I mean, they are just doing everything right to get all 4 of these players from now to the final circle. And I would not be surprised at all to see them all alive.
And for those of you watching, wondering, hey, shouldn't that be the norm? Yes, it should be the norm to share that stuff, but let me tell you, it's not. Whether you are playing with randoms or your lifelong friends, that is not the norm. So it's no shock that these 4 are alive. There is a team mindset here, which quite honestly is rare sometimes.
but it's also really reassuring to see that, oh, there is hope. If they can do it, my team can do it, probably.
Humanity is not lost. You're absolutely right. They're being pushed by by two teams now. Let's see how they fare out of here.
Well, one player is already down. Put some more armor plates down to share the load a little bit here. Players are going to be getting pushed, though. He's going to drop off the roof to get that revive coming in. So, once again, being in a good place to be able to get all 4 of these players back in action. They were pretty much just watching the players run across storage here, but not able to get any full on any of them. And now just playing it smart and playing it safe to cover their angles and watch as they're all virtually shadowing in the same direction, because this is, once again, another one of those zones that's really weird, where the only thing out there is like a chain link fence, a couple of rocks, and a few trees over there on the side. There's just really nothing out on that side of the fence from Storage Town.
You know, it is interesting how the original shoot 'em up video games had that mindset of whoever presses this button to shoot the fastest wins, because this is the N64 and technologically we're not at a point where strategy is too big of a factor yet.
Yeah.
And now you have, fast forward 20 years and you have Call of Duty, which is, I'm not gonna compare it to the real world, but as far as video games go, as realistic of a shoot 'em up video game as you could ever find. But I love how the fact that the final circle never closes near any kind of cover, never closes near a buy station. To win this game, you always have to fall back on the instinct of I am spraying everything that moves, and that's the only way to win at the end of the day.
They've lost one so far here in storage. The rest of the squad is able to pick up everyone else. So there's 3 of them left alive here as the zone is starting to come in. And this is just going to be a precarious situation because they had 2 people in that big warehouse that is over there. He at least has the car plus the MP7, so he's really not reliable for a whole lot of pressure fire at range, but with the car at least is able to do something here. Zone is at least going to hold a little bit in storage, so that's not awful for them. That it's going to kind of hold it to where they are. They really don't have to move.
In a situation like this with all that open space, you happen to be on the right side, that the correct side that has just a little bit of cover left before the final 2 circles, and is, hey, no need to do anything. Let's just sit back here, and the 12 guys that are left, let's make it 6. Let's just let all them shoot each other, and we will pop out around this corner when the time comes. There's nothing wrong with being patient at the right time.
And they also have this position where, you can peek this corner like this. If you really want to, you can hop up on top of the truck and then get on top of these storage units to kind of watch. But it looks like it might be under a little bit of fire here. Someone's kind of watching that angle. Smoke grenade's going to go out. That's a little far on the throw.
A little far on the throw, indeed. And there was a little glint up there, as we see why, as a bullet whizzes over his teammate's head. And whenever you see that glint, it means run or get down because someone's looking right at you.
And that's, blessing and a curse, right? Because now you realize, okay, someone knows exactly where I am, but you also then get to find out exactly where they are. And if you have the quick trigger finger, this is where the sniper specialty comes in. If you have that quick trigger finger, better sniper wins. And I love those showdowns. That's
Absolutely.
my bread and butter.
Those are the greatest. And with 3 minutes left, they know this is our final one.
Yep.
It's gonna be the final one that adds to our score. Certainly there's not enough time to start up another game, so they really want to finish this one strong.
Oh, great shot there. Able to break armor on 1. His teammate's going to go down. He broke armor on 2. Now both of them ducking down behind this. There are 3 players out there. His other 2 teammates are down. You see the combat slides coming in. That's a hit marker, which means that player has no armor, which is heartbreaking in the sense that did not get the kill shot. He's got 1 other squad mate still around here. Not going to let that one get picked up. That's the headshot kill confirm. Another hit marker on that player. This is frustrating from anyone with this rifle.
They just will not die. No shields.
Oh, here's a third party.
Bullets from the KAR.
And now the third party coming in. He's got no armor left, so he's potentially would have to hold off. And another hit marker. That's going to be a kill confirmed. The other team is going to get credit for that one, but he is the last one left alive. He is nothing but left in the open. And that is going to be the end of the day for them. They were just deadlocked on him. He did not have a chance at all.
When you have somebody who has the height advantage when it comes down to those final circles, there's nothing you can do. All you can hope is to get lucky, which sometimes you do, but that time they didn't.
As you see over on Shane Vereen's squad, the last 90 seconds of this match. Drop the duffel bag, drop the stacks, see what they're going to buy with it. They are very wealthy.
Oh, yes. They have a lot of money, and maybe they could donate some of that money for some lighting in Shane's man cave there, because I can't see a thing.
Right?
Clearly, he has not paid. Well,
not at all.
He's paying his electric bill. He's playing Call of Duty, but
right.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the lighting situation. But that's the other thing.
And that's, you know, just an interesting. I mean, he looks like he is straight chilling, though. I mean, he is as comfortable as can be. That's all you need. Is a comfortable man cave just to throw back a few rounds of Warzone.
Well, that man cave is often my bed, so I hope he's treating that couch nice.
I know that. I know how that is. Unfortunately, well, it looks like they're getting ready to make their next move. He's going to get tagged from behind. The rest of the squad is moving out. He's going to use that self. Is that someone? Nope. They were on ground level, surprisingly.
That's tough. I did not see them one bit, so credit to them for being so sneaky.
Yeah, just got their way around in behind right there. So he's going to the gulag. Looks like with the Car 98 as well. Let's see if that's going to pan out for him here. The last few seconds. Nope. Sure isn't. He's going to get... right back to the dome, and that is unlucky. The end of Shane Vereen's day until his teammates either buy him back or they all just go next. But with that, the timer has hit zeros for round number 3, and we are tallying up scores. We'll find out exactly where everyone is placing. But the surprising thing for today, you know, I put an asterisk on Crystal's team. I also put an asterisk on the other squad for Kevin Ware's team. And who was the other one? Check my notes. Oh, Pistachio. Jay Pistachio. Justin was another squad I was looking out for. But at the end of the day, FaZe Clan just met expectations. The neighborhood was the one that was a surprise.
I mean, not only do they make incredible music, clearly when they're not making music, they're playing Call of Duty. I mean, like you said, we had the highest expectations. You got a top 3 Call of Duty player in the world on your team. You're FaZe Blue. The whole gaming community knows who you are. We had high expectations, and you know what? They met them. But the most underrated, the dark horse, the most impressive, without question, the neighborhood. I am blown away by what they showed today.
And everyone at home, take notes of what they did. You know, everyone just staying together. You know, they're sharing resources, sharing munitions and armor, and they're all just going from A to B to C. And it's not flashy, but it does get the job done. It's that ground pound defense or the offense where all you just establish the run and just go, and it works the whole time.
Exactly, and proof of. More than anything, we say it every time we have these tournaments, communication is key. That is Exhibit A. This is the best example of a team who clearly communicates with one another, and the results show just that.
Absolutely. As we give so much credit to them, we have replays from the neighborhood's gameplay just to kind of realize exactly what they do so well. I mean, they all just drop in together to the right positions where they're all going where they want to be. And I mean, they don't really go apart from that. But this is the chaos that is Superstore. But when you have all 4 people right next to each other, you're going to win out.
You're going to win. I mean, look at this absolute chaos. When something like this happens, it all happens so fast. You don't have time to communicate. You don't have time to say, hey, there's a guy behind that door, because you have 12 people trying to kill each other at the same time. That's the nonverbal communication. That's just knowing I know my guy's going to get his job done, so I got to get mine done.
Absolutely. And in the gulag, you see the Dragonauts here, the glint of the scope. That's the beauty of that rifle right there. Just once you have them pinned, just start spraying. Just keep going, keep blasting on that, and they are not going to be able to do anything about it because that gun just does not seize. I mean, you had 10 bullets in the clip. You're fine. You're not even worried about it.
And a high fire rate, very high fire rate for a sniper rifle. And if you can find advantage of that, you saw right there, I mean, it works every time.
Every single time. Of course, with all of this event going on, we have to thank all of our wonderful sponsors, and apart from HyperX, you've seen them all running. But we also have to give a shout out to the Gamers.Vote movement, hashtag GamersVote on Twitter and all social media as well. If you want to get all the information, you can go to that website. There are over 130 million gamers in America that are eligible to vote. And if you have not registered, you can go to that link and it will break down the whole process for you. And this is the best of time to do it. All of July, we are running this Gamers.Vote movement because of the fact that it is the election year. There are so many seats up for re-election, and it's just a great cause on top of helping to raise funds and awareness and trying to get 2020 back to normal. 2021, fingers crossed, that's the bounce back. That's the year. So get out, register to vote, social distance, wear your face mask, do everything you got to do to make all of this go back to quote-unquote normal as fast as we possibly can.
And if you are a millennial, if you are Gen Z, do not be fooled. This election, you are going to determine this election. Get out there and vote. I know Warzone is a great game. Step away, set aside an hour, go vote. 130 million gamers. You will decide this election. Do not be fooled. Get out there. You have a right to your opinion. You have a right to share it, and you have a right to put that little check mark on the box. You've earned it. Make sure you utilize that.
Absolutely so. And we've talked about, what we've met expectations from FaZe Clan Neighborhood doing so well with that. We have more replays from that round of action that we can take a look into as we talk about these teams that we saw play so well. Didn't see a lot from a few of the other teams, but I mean, with this squad in particular, the FaZe Clan, this is why FaZe Clan's so good. Just a quick one tap with that car. That's insane.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And what a confident shot. That wasn't just a blind shot. Let's see what happens. That was calculated, and it works. Nothing he does is not calculated.
And being able to just spray like that, I mean, getting a little bit of fire down onto the truck and then realizing, all right, well, I got to do this before he leaves, throw the C4 and just finish the job. And you're just taking care of business time and time again. And it's not really any surprise to see from some of the best Warzone players in the world. And that's why, I mean, we set high expectations for them, and they certainly did not disappoint. And we've talked about the Neighborhood and how well they played. On the other side, you could talk about, Team Crystal and how well they were doing with just the same sort of with the Neighborhood, right? Just playing consistently and kind of keeping an eye out for each other and everyone accountable, and ultimately getting them a lot of really consistent good placement point finishes.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Whether it be football, whether it be Warzone, even if you have 4 mediocre players, if everyone's on the same page, you will have success. Now you get 4 good players and still everyone's on the same page. That's why you get results like they got. Clear communication, clear chemistry. You're gonna like the way the game turns out for you.
And I mean, it turned out pretty well for them. And, all of this because the NFLA and ESTV teaming up together for this Esports Celebrity Challenge. I know you have a significant part in both of those. You want to kind of break down as to what that partnership does and what brought us all here together and kind of just flex on us. This is your time to shine.
Absolutely. ESTV. Whatever streaming service you use, ESTV is there. Whether you have Fire Stick, whether you got Roku, whether you got the Roku live channel, the fact of the matter is ESTV is there. If you have a Vizio television, ESTV is there. If you have Samsung TV Plus, ESTV is there. And if you are watching this, it means you enjoy watching esports. ESTV 24/7 coverage of all your video game needs. And thank you to the NFLA. They were one of our first partners, and they have been tremendous. And football is a wonderful game. The fact of the matter is, when you are done playing, you have an entire second life to live, and the NFLA takes care of former NFL players like no one else does. And we are so proud that they are on our team with us. And also, thank you for them helping out really everybody. Video game lovers, non-video game lovers. This is a trying year, and the NFLA is doing everything that they can to relieve some of that, and we are so proud to be partners with them.
And, we've done a handful of these shows, 4 or 5 of them to date already. How we've seen the results and we've seen how it's all played out. Team football, frankly, just never quite steps up to the plate. How do you think they fared in today's event? You think it was better or worse than before?
You know what? They can hang their hat on something. This is the best that they've looked. I don't have the final results in front of me, and we kind of touched on it earlier during round one. The fact is that the competition is only going to get higher. I'm on Team ESTV. I'm also on Team Football, but I'm on Team ESTV. And to go from reaching out to people, asking them to join, to now have people reaching out to us, asking if they can join, it's such a tremendous feeling. On the flip side of that, what comes with that is higher competition. This time we had FaZe Blue and Wars. God knows who's going to be here next month. I mean, it is getting scarier and scarier. I'm still holding out hope that football will be atop the leaderboards one day, but right now, again, I don't have the leaderboards in front of me, but I think we are all assuming that FaZe Blue will find himself above there.
There's a pretty decent chance. I heard some word after the first round that there was a couple other teams that were very close to the top of the leaderboard. So I am very interested to see actually how it all did shake out. But with the talk of the competition just getting better and better, you start to introduce people like FaZe Blue and Wars into this, who participate in a handful of other Warzone tournaments. Then you're opening the door to content creators like Symphony and Metaphor and Tim the Tatman and all of these people that play this game 8 hours a day and are insanely good. You really start to get to a point where team football or any other sport that isn't a professional gamer or content creator, you got to step up. You got to do it now.
It's scary. It's scary. I mean, asking a guy like FaZe Blue to participate in this is like going to Michael Phelps and asking him to swim. It's like, oh, that's what I do, and I do it better than anybody. So yeah, I'll go do it. I mean, they are just so good. Luck may need to be on Team Football side in the future as we get guys like FaZe Blue. But again, it's such bittersweet. I want football to be at the top, but as a member of ESTV, I want the best to come and participate. So what comes with that is higher competition.
Naturally so. I mean, that competition, that's what makes it so great, though. That's the riveting content that we're all here to watch, regardless of who is playing. We've just been fortunate enough to get people from all walks of life, where it be musicians, basketball players, WNBA players, international basketball players, baseball players from any league. I mean, we have so many different people all coming together to play in these events. Now you're branching into the actual content creation and esports side of it, and it's really cool to be able to have this opportunity. Like we said, for what it's worth, 2020 is just chaos, but to be able to do something like this and kind of spread the word about the kind of recovery process that we are in is just a really cool opportunity for everybody here.
We may not be saving the world, but if we can offer a sliver of hope on a Sunday afternoon, that's all that matters, right?
Yep.
That's all that matters. At the end of the day is do your part. This is our part. Raising money, providing some needed distractions outside. Not only is it hot, there's also COVID, and you have Californians who apparently want COVID to stay around. That's a story for another day. But until then, the NFLA and this incredible list of sponsors, as well as ESTV, will happily be providing a relief that we hope goes a long way.
Of course. And you talk about you're just hot. Obviously, we're out of Las Vegas. It's like 100 degrees by 9 o'clock in the morning. Is it that bad out there?
It's only about 85 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll reach 100. It just takes us longer to get there. But I mean, to be on a morning run at 6:30 in the morning and you're sweating before you even get out the car, it's oh boy. But hey, that's why you got Warzone, right? Stay inside, raise some money by playing the games that you love.
Exactly. Air conditioning is godsend. It's so nice to just.
I am terrified of what that bill is going to be at the end of the month.
Oh boy, I don't want to talk about that. It's one thing to just break a sweat. It's another thing to walk 30 feet outside to get the mail and be sweating by the time I get back. Like that's too much. Like, come on now.
There's
like,
no hiding.
There's no hiding. Dial it back a little bit. I mean, I don't even.
That sunlight is like the gas in Warzone. Whether you want it there or not, it's gonna be there and it's coming. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm just gonna avoid it as long as I possibly can. It's not gonna happen at all. So we'll see exactly which direction the summer goes. Hopefully it's a little bit lower on the dial for the thermometer, but I mean, with everything coming to fruition, you know, we're getting the final scores tallied up. We've talked about the expectations we've had for the players that were at the top of the leaderboard. We've had expectations for players that we expected maybe not to be so prevalent in the late game. Just ultimately, at the end of the day, what are your general impressions that you received from all of this tournament in general?
I am amazed as to how there are so many people better than me at this game. You know, as inspiring as it is to watch everybody play, in the back of my mind, it's, I'm not this good. And thank God I'm on the commenting side of things now, because I can hide the fact that I'm not as good. No, it is incredible. Whether it's Warzone, whether it's a WNBA game, whether it's an NBA game or an NFL game or an MLB game, watching the millions of ways to accomplish a similar goal, it would never not be fascinating.
And you touched on it briefly. I love the fact that I'm on the commentating side of it, because I'm not good at the game, so I'm going to commentate the game. And that's how it is with every game. That's why anytime I'm commentating anything at all, it's like, okay, what is going to happen with you? Like, well, I'm going to commentate. I'm not going to play because you don't want to see me play. I do a lot better at talking than I do at playing.
There you go. Hey, everybody has their role. If you have a quads team out there in a war zone, and I know my role, it is behind the controller when I want to have fun. But when it comes to competition with people like we saw running around out there this afternoon, I need to be behind a microphone.
Yeah, it's watching FaZe Clan and what they do, even watching the neighborhood and just how well they played. I mean, that's not a squad of 4 I want to come across in my games, just because I know, especially if I see the neighborhood's tag pop up, I know all 4 of them are there. And I'm probably by myself, honestly.
Shame on you for being by the airport, because that's the neighborhood's neighborhood. So don't go out there unless you're ready for 4 guys who are always going to be alive with self-revives, ready to take you down.
Absolutely, and it's just amazing to see that consistency always play through for them, and that they could always go Superstore. All of them come out alive. They always get their loadout, and they're like, okay, now let's go to the airport, and let's just continue, and then we're going to get a top 5 finish every single round. Every single one we watched them. I mean, the first round was the only one we actually got to follow through to the end and watch them get the Warzone victory, but the fact that they kept doing the same thing every round and making it top 5, that's impressive.
Absolutely. And you know, we're still waiting to tally up those scores. We'll have those in a second, but the neighborhood, credit to them. I mean, that's the only confirmed Warzone victory that we saw. Right. I'm not shocked if there were others, but that's the only one that we physically saw, and they got one in round 1. They got one to cap off round 1. So we knew right off the bat that they were not here to play around. They meant business.
Yeah, and I mean, if that's what it takes to come into a Warzone, a kill tournament, when we talked about at the very top of the show, you can't just play for placement. You have to go for kills as well. When you have players like Team Lost Rings with Black Crystal on the squad, you have players like FaZe Clan coming in, you have to go for kills as well, because of the fact that those teams are going to put up 50, 60 kills like it's nothing at all. Like, they're not even worried about it. And then there's other teams that we didn't even get to watch too much. We didn't even really get to see Justin Palacios' team, ECCP, who is a 5-time LAN Call of Duty champion, and I can only imagine what that team was doing.
Oh man, it's like you said, that there's so much great talent to watch. You can't watch it all, but like I said, once we see this leaderboard at the end, there's always those 2 teams. Oh, I didn't even realize they were that close to the top, you know. And I'm definitely excited for those dark horses to be revealed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly how all of that does go, because obviously, like you said, we kind of expect FaZe Clan to be up there in contest for the win because of just who they are, the reputation they have. I mean, Wars has a 5.07 KDA as of like 6 hours ago. So, I mean, that's nutty when you look at kind of the average players are between 1 to 2. You know, you take one, you give one, and that's it. But a 5 KDA. I mean, there's a lot of the other Warzone tournaments, they put a minimum team KDA where like you can only have combined 15 between all 4 players. That's a third of it right there in one player.
That's a third. So if you want to enter a tournament, you got to find a lot of bad players to balance out the really good ones. Of 5 KDAs. I remember the day that I crossed the 1 benchmark, and you would have thought it was a New Year celebration the way I was celebrating. So 5, that is outrageous.
Yeah, and it's impressive in the sense of, like we've talked about, with multiplayer, you can get away with getting a 1.5 to a 1.8 or something like that. But when you get into Warzone, it is a much bigger map. You have to be aware of everything going on around you. But we are now aware of the final results of this, and we do have the scoreboard. We do have our ultimately claimed crowned victor, and believe it or not, it's not FaZe Clan. Somehow, don't ask me how. Team Wear is on top. FaZe Clan coming in second place right there after the showing that we got from them. The Neighborhood in third because of just how consistent they played. And then fourth and fifth, once again, right off the podium, Team Football coming in with Shane Farine and Amon Green right there. Justin Palacios there in sixth place rather. Team Lost Rings coming up seventh. Oliveira in seventh, eighth. I can't count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't ask me to count. I can go to 4, and that's the maximum. And then Willis McGahee and company coming up and down. Of course, Willis McGahee was the answer to our Gamers.vote trivia question, if you did get that one in the second round. But nonetheless, Kevin Ware on top. I mean, he won the last Search and Destroy event, I think, was the last show that we did about a month ago. And that is just an impressive showing to be able to go from that sort of landscape to this one. We knew Kevin Ware's team was good. We had every idea that he had a ringer, that he brought in the pros, that he was ready to compete. And even his gameplay itself, Kevin Ware is, well deserving of that gold medal on top.
Absolutely. And I mean, this is back-to-back wins. I know he has a win under his belt. Was it the last tournament that he won?
Yeah, I think it was. I think he did win the last one, but
that was Search and Destroy, and now this is Warzone. So, I mean, if he wins if we have another team deathmatch in the future, he will be the first to get what's the horse race? The triple crown. Triple crown, I believe it's called. Yeah. So Kevin Ware is closing in on the Triple Crown, and what a feat that would be.
What a feat indeed. And we do have Kevin Ware on board with us to be able to talk about that whole experience. Kevin, congratulations first and foremost. How are you feeling after the win?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I already think I got the 3. No, that wasn't Search and Destroy. The second event that we did, but we did something before that. So another week and easy dub.
Easy dub. All right.
Feed me.
So, was there any point, I mean, obviously going up against like players in FaZe Clan, was there any point at all where you were like concerned seeing the competition coming in, or what's the difference for you? Obviously it's not Search and Destroy, so what's the approach for Warzone for you guys?
Well, so the guys that I play with, I am, but it's kind of the same approach that they go with. Get your load out, get it.
Okay, so obviously, coming out with another victory. I mean, did you guys get any Warzone victories, or was it all based off of kills by yourself?
I think it's based off of kills, and they were carrying me, honestly.
Okay.
All my guys carried me. I did my fair share, small part, but I'm marking everybody, making sure they get kills, so just working the same.
Well, Brock, you got anything? You're dying to ask the gold winner?
Absolutely. Well, we were talking quite a bit as far as me and Trevor's personal strategies, what guns we run with. I know you were playing kind of Steve Nash, Diamond Edition for your teammates to eat, but what is your preferred loadout? What do you personally run with?
I got an Overkill and a Ghost class, usually an Overkill, so a Grok and a MP13. And then my Ghost class, I always do the MP5, but perks, Ghost, Double Time, and Tracker. So, you could just be aware of if somebody gets killed and goes opposite way.
Well, there it is. There it is. And for anybody listening, Kevin Ware has won this tournament basically as many times as we've had it. Go back, watch all these, and do whatever the heck he does, because this dude is a train that cannot be stopped right now.
Well, congratulations once again, Kevin. Thank you for joining us here on this one, and we look forward to seeing you once again on top of the podium when it all comes down to this one.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Too.
Well, with all that said and done, that is the conclusion of our Warzone tournament here in the Esports Celebrity Challenge. We've already briefly touched on the final thoughts. Brock, after talking to Kevin, okay, first and foremost, the FaZe Clan, what the heck? Not what I expected, but Kevin Ware coming out on top, acting like it was nothing. It's an easy day for him.
Confidence, cool, calm, and collected. Even in the post-game interview, he expected to be here, and I think that's why he is all. Like I said, we need to go back and look and document it. He claims he has the Triple Crown already. Put his jersey in the rafters. I don't care how long we do this tournament. Kevin Ware is gonna be in our Hall of Fame, and deservedly so. What an afternoon it's been.
Absolutely. I mean, he got himself a national title back at Louisville. Looking for his title here in Call of Duty and continuing to defend it on the Esports Celebrity Challenge. Brock, any final parting words, anything from ESTV or the NFL alumni you'd like to say?
From ESTV to the NFL alumni, to Lucid Sound, to JBL, to HyperX, who makes the best microphones in the business. All of our sponsors, MetaThreads. I'm wearing MetaThreads right here. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you to everyone who competed. Thank you to our sponsors, even going back, for our participants, even going back to the original tournament, from the WNBA to the NBA to the international basketball leagues, to Columbia for sending over your artists who love this game just as much as we do, to the NFL. Thank you to FaZe Clan. We hope to see you guys in the future as well.
Absolutely.
You're doing this for a great cause. Thank you, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.
Hopefully so. And with that, we draw the final conclusion to this Call of Duty event. Alongside Brock Vereen, my name has been Trevor McNeil. It still is Trevor McNeil. It's not going to change. I promise that. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes for putting this show on. And we will wish to see you again. There will be another Call of Duty event coming up. Don't go anywhere for the next time we do it. Have a good day.